Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3.
North Platte Post sports presentation. It's time for FNBO American Legion Baseball with the North Platte Post and FM 98.1.
Get set, and oh my God, there goes Blaze Seiler! He did it! He successfully sold home!
Today's game is brought to you in part by Sandhills State Bank, Premier Toyota, Dave's Place Pizza and Wings, CT Computer Services, The Shelter Insurance Boys, Pete Voles, Brett Rogo, and Matthew Musselman.
That one smashed into left field. It's going all the way. Make that 2 home runs today for Jack Polk.
FNBO Baseball also brought to you in part by Great Plains Sports and Therapy, Larry's Glass, Bill Summers Ford, the DNN Event Center, Larry's RV, Double Dip Ice Creamery, Kevin McGann and the Fortify Group, Great Plains Home Care Equipment, Runza, Puro Clean, CIO Wealth Strategies, and the North Platte Public Schools.
So that's turned on by Blaze Seiler. It's going all the way. It's out of here. The Nationals have done it. Blaze Seiler has hit a home run to walk it off.
Let's play ball. FNBO Baseball from FM 98.1 and AM 1410 while live streaming on NorthPlattePost.com. Here's the voice of the Nationals, Paxton Gordon.
Hey everybody, welcome back to some more American Legion Baseball here, FM 98.1, AM 1410, and as always, video live streaming on NorthPlattePost.com. I'm Paxton Gordon. FNBO Nationals taking on 5 Points Bank Hastings tonight in some baseball action. The Nationals currently sitting 10-5 on the season on a 4-game winning streak, coming in after taking on a Shattered, winning 6-5 in game number 1, and then in a very fun and exciting way in game 2, 9-8, taking on one of, again, the teams that this Nationals squad has struggled with throughout the seasons, but then also have created a really big rivalry with, as it's, again, 5 Points Bank Hastings, who currently sit 6-5 on this season, coming off of a loss to Post 84 Cornerstone, which is, of course, the teams that we know and face Columbus just a couple of days ago. So, this, of course, the national squad that has beaten Columbus this season Hastings fell to Columbus. Of course, granted, some of the best team members or the best players for that Columbus squad were out for a couple of events, so it will be a little bit of a skewed result, but we'll take it out of which way. Nationals 10-5 compared to the 6-5 of 5 Points Bank Hastings. Nationals coming off of a couple of good victories against Shattered on Monday. Of course, one in a controversial fashion, if you are a Shattered fan, on the game number 2, when the Nationals lost to begin with in that game, and then came back and won it because of a call that one of the officials made that the runner who hit the walk-off run did not step on the bag, and then was later called out for, again, leaving the baseline, celebrating back in the dugout with the Nationals and coming back and winning 9-8. Going to have to bounce back here, though, against Hastings, who they fell to in the 7th inning the last time these two teams played just a couple of weeks ago. Nationals were leading that game 4-0. Pretty much had it set in stone that they were going to cruise into a pretty dominant victory, and then it all came apart in that top of the 6th inning when 4 runs came across and then 2 came across in the top of the 7th, that then allowed the 5 Points Bank Hastings to come up with the victory. So the Nationals looking to bounce back against a Hastings team that is on a little bit of the downturn at the moment in terms of a 2-game losing streak. Nationals on a 4-game winning streak, so we'll see how they will be able to recover and from Monday's events and then come into today's events and play their best brand of baseball and continue to a 5-game winning streak, which would be the largest of the season for the Nationals if they can get it done. We're going to step aside and we're going to take a break. When we come back here to Duncan Field, it is, of course, time for some more American Legion Baseball with our Double Dip Ice Creamery starting lineup and the first pitch right here at FM 98.1, AM 1410, and video live streaming on NorthPlattePost.com.
We're always open right around the corner. Quick stop with your 24-hour convenience store. Fast, friendly, no one gives you more. Gas, food, your favorite drink. Get everything you need in a blink. That's why everybody stops at Quick Stop. We're always open right around the corner. Quick Stop.
Are you in the market for a new or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV? Look no further than Bill Summers Ford, Honda, Nissan, Lincoln for your next vehicle. Look online 24/7 at BillSummers.com. Bill Summers is Western Nebraska's leasing headquarters, and they have aggressive financing to get you into the vehicle you've been dreaming of. Check out all the inventory at BillSummers.com anytime. Bill Summers Ford Honda Nissan Lincoln, where families are our business. Highway 83 and Walker Road in North Platte, and online 24/7 at billsummers.com. Free PC and Mac checkups at CT Computer Services in North Platte? That's right. Let CT Computer Services diagnose your systems to ensure your hardware integrity, security, and overall PC Mac health are running as they should. For a free PC Mac checkup, stop in at 905 South Willow in North Platte or call 308-534-3628. CT Computer Services, your IT guys since 2005.
Welcome back here, Duncan Field. Nationals taking on 5 Points Bank Hastings in some baseball action here today. It is time. It is time for our Double Dips Ice Creamery starting lineup. Double Dips Ice Creamery in the Store Canteen District in North Platte offers 24 plus different flavors of hand-dipped ice cream served in a variety of ways. They also have available the ice cream trailer for all your outdoor events, as it is, of course, the spring into summertime, and the weather is picking up. On the side of the visiting team, which is the FNBO Nationals, will be batting first. Caden Johnson leading off. He's back from his vacation to the out-of-states. He's back looking a little more tan, of course, sitting out in the sun so far from what I've been reporting, doing my journalistic duties for all of you that are keen-eyed observers. Blaze Zeiler in the designated hitter spot. He'll be batting in the 2-hole with Jack Polk at shortstop. Dean McIntyre will be catching with Easton Jones at third. Logan Hayes will begin the starting spot in the left field today with Landon Greeno at first. Race Morkey in right field with Ty Hanneborg at second base, and then Easton Geisler, who is on the mound for the Nationals here today. For the side of 5 Points Bank Hastings, we have Jaden Techmeyer, left fielder, batting leadoff with Evan Rust in center field. Nick Canant at shortstop with Nolan Hyde as a designated hitter. Justin Sugro will be at third base with Naz Robinson at second. Dayton Espino in right field. Adam Rudd catching. Parker Hodgson at first base, and then Carlos Jimenez will be on the mound here today for the side of 5 Points Bank Hastings. Nationals looking to continue this already impressive winning streak, which is now sitting at 4 games, 4-0 in their last 4, looking to make it 5 in a row here against a Hastings squad that is currently on a 2-game losing streak and kind of trending back towards 500. They're 6-5 on the season. Nationals, of course, will be in Omaha for the Elkhorn tournament coming up here this weekend. So be excited to, of course, see how they do with the Elkhorn tournament, as, of course, we're drawing ever so nearer to Nebraska Land Days, which is still crazy to sit and believe, knowing that once again, yet again, here comes Nebraska Land Days just right around the corner, and bada bing, bada boom, we're ready to rock and rumble. So, some baseball action getting underway. We're going to step aside, and we're going to take, yet again, our final break here in the Quick Stop pregame show. 27 locations open 24 hours a day. Quick Stop, always open right around the corner. When we come back here on this pregame show, it will be actually the beginning of the game, and the first pitch here from Duncan Field on FM 98.1 AM 1410 and video live streaming, as always, NorthPlattePost.com.
The DNN Event Center wishes everyone a great sports season. With North Platte and Nebraska weather, things change quickly and can make our lives a little more difficult. Thank goodness for the DNN. The DNN offers hourly rentals for all types of sports practices, including turf, courts, batting cages, and equipment usage. Call the DNN Event Center to schedule your team's practice times and for more league information for all sports seasons. For over 30 years in our community, for your next event, the DNN Event Center.
Whether you're a weekend warrior, youth, or professional athlete, the Great Plains Health Sports Medicine Team has you covered. The team includes orthopedic surgeons, athletic trainers, and other healthcare specialists who spend their time at local high school and college sporting events, ensuring that athletes stay as injury-free as possible. In the event of an injury, the team remains committed to returning athletes to competition as quickly and safely as possible.
Contact the Great Plains Health Sports Medicine Team by calling 308-568-7456.
Are you ready to embark on an exciting new career? Larry's Glass has been a trusted name in custom glass design for over 40 years, and they are seeking a skilled glazier to join their team. If you have a passion for precision and craftsmanship, this is the perfect opportunity for you. Install glass in commercial, residential, and auto settings. Get paid while you train for a new career. Stop into Larry's Glass at 211 West 5th Street, North Platte, and discuss how you can be part of their team and build a fulfilling career.
Free PC and Mac checkups at CT Computer Services in North Platte? That's right. Let CT Computer Services diagnose your systems to ensure your hardware integrity, security, and overall PC Mac health are running as they should. For a free PC Mac checkup, stop in at 905 South Willow in North Platte or call 308-534-3628. CT Computer Services, your IT guys since 2005. Are you in the market for a new or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV? Look no further than Bill Summers Ford Honda Nissan Lincoln for your next vehicle. Look online 24/7 at BillSummers.com. Bill Summers is Western Nebraska's leasing headquarters, and they have aggressive financing to get you into the vehicle you've been dreaming of. Check out all the inventory at BillSummers.com anytime. Bill Summers Ford Honda Nissan Lincoln, where families are our business. Highway 83 and Walker Road in North Platte, and online 24/7 at BillSummers.com.
The DNN Event Center wishes everyone a great sports season. With North Platte and Nebraska weather, things change quickly and can make our lives a little more difficult. Thank goodness for the DNN. The DNN offers hourly rentals for all types of sports practices, including turf, courts, batting cages, and equipment usage. Call the DNN Event Center to schedule your team's practice times and for more league information for all sports seasons. For over 30 years in our community, for your next event, the DNN Event Center.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Find me, Brent Rogo, at 502 East Francis.
Great Plains Health Orthopedics in North Platte is ready to serve you with board-certified orthopedic surgeons and a team of medical professionals who specialize in hip, knee, and shoulder joint replacements and revisions, minor to complex hand injuries, sports medicine for both the serious athlete and the weekend warrior, new and innovative operative and non-operative procedures, and work-related injuries. Same-week appointments are available. Call Great Plains Health Orthopedics today.
Your health is our mission. Great Plains Health.
Welcome back here, Duncan Field, for the start of some American Legion baseball. FNBO Nationals taking on 5 Points Bank Hastings. In some baseball action, Carlos Jimenez will be on the mound to start today for 5 Points Bank Hastings. He'll be facing off against Caden Johnson, who we welcome back from his trip down to, I believe it was Mexico, if I remember correctly. He's ready to lead things off and get back into the groove for a national squad that, while you may look at the record and say 10-5, have had some ups and downs throughout not just this early part of June, but the whole month of May, where it's just been a 10-5 start to the season. Pretty respectable, 5 games above 500, but probably should have a couple more wins on their hands, and they are currently showing it. Of course, as you know, head coach Ricky Holm always talks about this team being a team that can either win a couple, as I drop my phone on my on my board, they can either win a couple games, and beat the best teams, or drop a couple games to a couple lesser opponents. So it's on the Nationals today to see if they can come up to snuff here against this Hastings squad that has always provided them with the fits. And, of course, as I said earlier, leading off Caden Johnson to start the series here today against one Carlos Jimenez. 2 up next for the Nationals, Blaze Zeiler and then Jack Polk. Of course, the Nationals junior team swept Hastings this season. They posted another impressive victory just a couple of minutes ago as the first pitch from Jimenez is upstairs and into the heavens for ball number 1. 1-0 the count to the center fielder, Caden Johnson, who's come back from vacation, and he'll find another ball that'll be off speed and up out of the zone for a count of 2-0 as I'm dropping more things. I'm just a liability today when it comes to dropping things. As that one is foul tipped off the bat of Johnson. 2-1 now the count to the center fielder. as going and throwing a baseball out for his pitcher there, Adam Rutt, will be catching in today's game. For 5 Points Bank Hastings, as they're off to a 2-1 start in terms of the pitches. 2 balls, 1 strike for Jimenez as he winds up and delivers his third pitch, or it should be fourth. Another one that's way upstairs, ball 3 for Jimenez. 3-1 the count to Caden Johnson, and this is something the Nationals have been trying to get more and more action of, getting players onto the base pads and either which way. The 3-1 swung on and fouled back to the netting for strike number 2. It's now a full count to Caden Johnson. Johnson looking to get on board with a walk to lead this game off for the Nationals and hopefully steal their way on to second. The 3-2 pitch from Jimenez. It's way upstairs, ball 4 yet again. All 4 pitches from Carlos Jimenez have been all upstairs. And that's a 6-pitch walk for Caden Johnson as he makes his way on over to first. For the ever-dangerous Blaze Zeiler, who potentially could lay a bunt down here to get 2 runners on for the Nationals. Third baseman Jackson Segro is now onto the grass, just making sure as Jimenez's first pitch is in there, strike number 1 with the fastball. 0-1 now the count to the designated hitter, Blaze Zeiler, with Caden Johnson at first, eager to steal as we know he likes to do. A pickoff attempt will not be in time as it scoots away from first baseman Parker Hodgin, but assistant coach and first base coach Andrew Brocious tells Caden Johnson not to go. The 0-1 pitch into Blaze Zeiler. There it is. Swung on and skied straight up into the air. Carlos Jimenez is going to call for it on the mound. He gets under it and gloves it for out number 1. So down goes Zeiler with a pop fly to now bring up to bat Jack Polk. Polk was due to actually start pitching in today's game, but after Easton Geisler made an appearance during the Cheyenne games, head coach Ricky Holm thought, let's wait to put Jack on until the tournament time this weekend and utilize Easton Geisler a little bit more, since he really didn't get to utilize his full potential against Cheyenne as that bounces off of Polk's shoulder. And with that, a hit by pitch, and he now walks his way on over to first. 2 runners on for the Nationals, as it's Dean McIntyre who will check in to swing against Carlos Jimenez in this top of the first inning. Jimenez walked the first batter he saw, Johnson, and then hit Jack Polk in the shoulder a second ago, and now will fire to McIntyre, who will then swing, foul it, and make its way into the grandstand, as I said, for a foul ball. It's strike number 1 to the catcher, Dean McIntyre, today. Infield and outfield defensively for the Nationals, getting back to what we've seen throughout the season, with Caden Johnson at center field, Easton Jones at third, and Jack Polk at short. Jimenez is 0-1. It's down in the dirt, gets a little bit away from Adam Rutt, but not far enough to move the base runners. And with that, it's a 1-1 count now in this top of the first inning. Our course half-inning breaks are always brought to you in part by Kevin McGann and the Fortifying Group. Check out Kevin McGann and the Fortifying Group, his location, 621 South Dewey, Suite B. Now here comes the 1-1 from Jimenez. Check swing, gets away from Rutt, and now there goes the double steal. Was already put in place for Caden Johnson, and an easily made a guarantee for the Nationals with that ball being in the dirt. So now 2 runners are in scoring position for FNBO. It's a 2-1 count to the ever-dangerous Dean McIntyre, who is on an RBI spree right now for this Nationals team. And that pitch is high upstairs again. That's ball number 3 from Carlos Jimenez to Dean McIntyre. Polk at second. Caden Johnson on over at first base for the Nationals. As here comes the 3-1 count from Carlos Jimenez. Here it comes. Swung on, Chopper that's going to get on over to Naz Robinson. He'll score 1 run. The throw to first will be in time, so that is a sacrifice out for the side of the Nationals. That'll bring 1 run home, Caden Johnson. And because of that, 1 run will come across, and the Nationals now lead 1-0 here in this top of the first inning. Though there are 2 down for Easton Jones, who will check in to swing. He has a runner at third base, being Jack Polk for the Nationals. Would love to bring him home to score some more runs, well, at least 1 more to be exact, as that curveball from Jimenez is in there, right down the center, strike number 1. Jimenez already up 15 pitches in this top of the first inning. The 0-1 to Jones. He swings and fouls that right behind our press box. It's now an 0-2 count to the third baseman in today's game. Jack Polk peacefully waiting at third base to get his time to shine and come home. But Easton Jones looking to avoid his strikeout and keep this inning alive for the Nationals. The 0-2 pitch. That one driven in the gap. Center left field. It falls in front of Evan Rust. So that is an RBI single for the side of Easton Jones. And the Nationals bring yet again another run home, but also collect their first hit today, as Easton Jones prances to first, and that brings up to bat Logan Hayes. Of course, Hayes, I believe, being full-time called up to the Nationals senior roster, playing left field today, and also getting the starting position, hitting above 600 this season at the senior level, which is just quite crazy to see. He'll watch a high fastball from Jimenez escape the zone. It's 1-0. Easton Jones on over at first base for the Nationals. As that next pitch just outside and below the knees. 2-0 the count now. Of course, Hayes part of that platoon scenario for the Bulldogs this season out in left field between Jackson Hayes and himself. The 2-0 popped up. That one going right back to Carlos Jimenez, who calls for it, but gets called off for Hodgin at first, and he gloves it for out number 3, and that's how this top of the first comes to an end. 2 runs on 1 hit. No errors for the defensive side. 5 Points Bank Hastings. The Nationals lead 2-0. We come back here. Easton Geisler on the mound when we return to Duncan Field. FM 98.1, AM 1410. Video live streaming, NorthPlattePost.com.
Where do you go for wings?
Dave's Place.
Where do you go for pizza?
Dave's Place.
What about cold drinks, a family atmosphere, and nightly specials?
Dave's Place.
Sounds like a sweep for Dave's Place. Pizza made from fresh dough, drink deals, and yes, the best pizza and wings.
It's Dave's Place.
Dave's Place on East 4th Street or at davesplacenp.com.
Order it, carry out, DoorDash. Dave's Place. Whoop, whoop.
Exciting news! North Platte and surrounding communities, Great Plains Health Home Care Equipment has a new address. Find them at 220 West Leota Street, Suite 1, right beside Great Plains Urgent Care. Their professional staff is fully qualified to help you meet your needs. From wheelchairs to mobility scooters, lift chairs, and more, they have everything to make your home safe and comfortable. They've got you covered. Call Great Plains Health Home Care Equipment today at 308-568-8510. Let them help you regain your independence.
With summer just around the corner, Mid-Plains Community College can help you get a jump start on your college degree. Our summer courses may allow you an opportunity to transfer credits back to your institution, saving you money while helping you earn your degree faster. Visit our website at mpcc.edu to learn more about our summer offerings and begin transforming your future today. That's mpcc.edu.
Welcome back here to Duncan Field. Nationals with an early 2-0 lead over 5 Points Bank Hastings. On the mound for the Nationals here today, Easton Geisler. Of course, you saw him have an appearance against Shadron, but head coach Ricky Holm going to throw him out here yet again on short notice just because he believes he did not really get the full outing for Geisler against Shadron. And with that, he gets to start. He'll be facing off against Jaden Techmeyer, the center fielder for 5 Points Bank Hastings here in today's game. Our half betting breaks brought to you in part by Kevin McGann and the Fortify Group. Check out Kevin McGann and the Fortify Group. His location, 621 South Dewey, Suite B. As that pitch at the knees in for strike number 1. It's a 1-1 count now to Techmeyer. Evan Rust is on deck with Nick Canant at the on-deck circle. That one slicing foul towards the parking lot. 1-2 count now to Techmeyer as Easton Jones looks for his first out here in today's game. Again, Jack Polk was originally slated to get the start today, but late lineup change now has Easton Geisler on the mound. Once more, one that's fouled back to the press box for strike number still 2 as it's a 1-2 count. 6-5 on the season for this Hastings squad after losing 2 in a row to Columbus just a couple of days ago. Next pitch, swing and a miss. Beautiful curveball from the side of Easton Geisler, and down goes Techmeyer for out number 1. Ever since, of course, coming back to the start of this season where he was on a pitch count because of his shoulder surgery, Easton Geisler has just been ramping up his not only the pitches but his production as well. Looking very comfortable on the mound this season in relief efforts and, of course, now starting efforts for this national squad as he'll throw a pitch into the dirt in front of Evan Rust for ball number 1. So 1-0 count now to Rust. As the next pitch from Geisler, just a bit outside there. Ball number 2. I mean, we're talking in terms of the just amount, about a centimeter on that miss from Easton Geisler. So it's a 2-0 count now for Evan Rust. And we bounce back with a strike right down the middle for 2-1 the count now. As Geisler looking to continue this inning for the Nationals. Skies that one into center field, but there's Caden Johnson, who's returning from vacation to grab the easy line out from the side of Evan Rust for out number 2. And with that, there's already 2 down. This bottom of the first inning for the Nationals. 2 up, 2 down for the side of 5 Points Bank Hastings as Nick Canant now up to bat for this Hastings squad with Nolan Hyde on deck and Jackson Segro on the on-deck circle as Geisler's fastball is way in front and in the dirt for ball number 1. Good save from Dean McIntyre. It's 1-0 now to Canant, the shortstop. Next pitch. Tight inside, but there for strike number 1. Oh, actually, correction there. Ball number 2, it's 2-0 the count now. I just thought it snuck in. So 2-0 now to Canant as Geisler fires. That one was in there as that's swung on in, missed for strike number 1. Good fastball from Geisler. 2-1 with 2 down. Nationals lead 2-0 in this bottom of the first inning. As Geisler delivers. Another fastball, this time too low in the dirt. Yet again, it's ball number 3 for Easton Geisler against Nick Canant. Canant, if gets on the base pads, a possible steal threat. It's outside ball 4, and that's a walk. First of the day for Geisler as Canant with 2 down makes his way on over to first to get a runner on for 5 Points Bank Hastings as Nolan Hyde, the big man himself, comes up to bat. Hyde on over at first in today's game, was a designated hitter in the first time these two teams played a couple of weeks ago. Geisler will take his glance on over at Canant at first as he is a steal threat for 5 Points Bank Hastings. First pitch upstairs. Ball number 1. Geisler up to 15 pitches, 8 balls, 7 strikes already in this ball game. So here comes the 1-0. Swung on, and that's slicing down the right field side, but it's pulled foul. Strike number 1. On deck, Jackson Segro and then Naz Robinson for this 5 Points Bank Hastings squad. 1-1 now the count to the first baseman, Nolan Hyde. Runner at first being Canant. There goes Canant. Swung on up the middle. It's going to bounce out of the reach there of Ty Hanneborg as it bounced off, I believe, the mound and maybe the leg of Easton Geisler, and because of that little bitty bounce off of him, it just gets out of the reach of Hanneborg, and that is a single for Hyde up the middle, and now there's runners at the corners for 5 points Bank Hastings as Jackson Segru now checks in. First hit today for Hastings. They have a runner in scoring position just 90 feet away at third base. Hyde on over at first. Geisler delivers. Oh no, bounces away from Dean McIntyre, and that is most certainly going to score a run on a pitch that gets away from Dean McIntyre. A run comes across. It's 2-1 now in favor of the Nationals, and the ball number 1 to Jackson Segru. Nolan Hyde now at second base for Hastings as Easton Geisler will deliver it. It's too high up above the zone. And the letters, ball number 2 to Segru. The count, way upstairs, almost hitting Segru in the head. (3-0) the count now to Jackson Segru from Geisler. It bounces back into the zone for strike number 1. Three and 1 now the count. Oh, that's going to bounce off the back of the head of Jackson Segru. And now he's going to waltz on over to first after being hit by a pitch. So now there's 2 runners on the base paths for Hastings. As up to bat now comes Naz Robinson. 2 runners on. Hyde at second. Segru on over at first. Robinson at bat with Dayton Espino on deck and Adam Rutt in the hole. A 2-1 lead for the Nationals here. This bottom of the first inning. That pitch down low in the turf for Easton Geisler. 1-0 the count to Robinson. Next pitch fired in, and it'll find the strike zone down the middle. 1-1 to Naz Robinson. 2 down in this inning. Geisler would love to get out of it, only giving up 1 run so far, if he can. Next pitch. Oh, that's going to bounce off of the front lip of the helmet of Naz Robinson. Doesn't particularly hit his head, but just hits the front of the helmet, and with that, another walk. Now the bases are loaded for Dayton Espino as out comes Coach Ricky Holm to have a talk with his pitcher, Easton Geisler. After that back-to-back batters he has hit. This bottom of the first inning, what was a 2-0 lead for the Nationals to start this bottom of the first. Now is a 2-1 lead and is only threatening to get worse and worse with the bases loaded, but there are 2 outs. So there goes the finished conversation between Coach Ricky Holm. And now Espino comes up to bat with the bases loaded. Espino playing in right field today. As he'll see a pitch for strike number 1 around the knees. off for the side of Dayton Espino. Still a 1-2 count now to the right fielder. The 1-2, oh, outside on a fastball. It just got a little bit away from Easton Geisler. It's 2-2 now, the count. 2 down in this inning. Espino at the plate. Bases loaded for 5 Points Bank Hastings. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Down goes Espino. And Easton Geisler gets out of this inning, only allowing 1 run to come across. 3 left stranded for Hastings. We now go to the top of the second inning when we come back here. FM 98.1, AM 1410, and of course, live streaming, NorthPlattePost.com.
Buying a car? It's not always the most pleasant experience, but it doesn't have to be that way. 23 years. That's how long Premier Toyota has been in North Platte community, delivering a car buying experience that's friendly, easy, and fun. Check PremierAutoplex.com first, then stop by your lot at 2600 South Willow Street in North Platte. Come see us. Premier Toyota for your next new Toyota or pre-owned vehicle. Premier Toyota at PremierAutoplex.com.
James and I are having a beef.
About which Runza burger is best.
It's the savory Swiss mushroom. Hands down.
No, it's the double cheeseburger. 2 burgers, better than 1, 'cause math.
The spicy Jack burger is also good.
True. Wait, why are we fighting?
I forget. Come get your favorite Runza burger today. Because from the way we make it to the way it makes you feel, Runza makes it all better.
Welcome back here to Duncan Field as the Nationals currently have a 2-1 lead over 5 Points Bank Hastings. 2 runs, 1 hit, no error for the Nationals. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors for 5 Points Bank Hastings. Is up to bat. Landon Garino will start this inning off for FNBO against Carlos Jimenez. Our half-inning break scores brought to you in part by Kevin McGann of the Fortifying Group. Check out Kevin McGann of the Fortifying Group. His location, 621 South Dewey, Suite B. Of course, our other sponsors for today's game, as we're going to actually have time called for the moment, as it's Adam Rutt on the side. He kind of took a ball off the face mask on warm-up pitches from Jimenez, as he's currently sitting down taking a breather. Also thank you to our other sponsors here for today's game, Sand Hill State Bank, most committed branded bank with locations in North Platte, Ogallala, Grant, and many more. Head to sandhillstate.com for a full list of services and locations. Rutt gets back up, and it looks like he just needed to take a second to refocus back in after taking that off the noggin. So, following that quick little interruption between Adam Rutt, it's now Landon Garino who's up to bat for the Nationals. Race Morkey on deck with the 9-hole hitter Ty Hanneborg in the hole against Carlos Jimenez, who had a rocky start to this game. He's had 20 pitches so far, 10 balls, 10 strikes, but had some issues in terms of giving up some easy hits and our 2 runs coming across that put the Nationals at a 2-0 lead before Hastings answered back in the bottom of the first to make it 2-1. First pitch from Jimenez is around the knees and low to Garino for ball number 1. It's 1-0 the count now. 1-0 with nobody on, nobody out in this top of the second inning. The next pitch. It's in there. Strike number 1 just clipping the corner. 1-1 the count. Swing and a miss on a big curve from Jimenez on his next pitch. It's now 1-2 the count. 2-1 with nobody out to the first baseman, Landon Garino. Jimenez fires. Swung on, slowly grounded to Canan at short. He gloves it, and a big throw to first is going to be in time for out number 1. There's now one down here in this top of the second inning. That brings Race Morkey, the right fielder, up to bat for FNBO. Next up, 9-hole hitter Ty Hanneborg with back to the top of the order, Caden Johnson on deck. First pitch from Jimenez. Curveball just barely scooped out of the turf by Adam Rutt for ball number 1. Of course, Coach Ricky Holman loved to see Morkey get on with that speed, with a very dangerous part of the order due up for the Nationals as that pitch, once again from Jimenez, is above the zone. Ball number 2. 2-0 the count now with 1 out in this top of the second inning. Jimenez staring into the sun, fires. Once again, high and tight inside, ball 3. As Reese Morkey staring down the barrel of a walk with 1 out in this top of the second inning. The 3-0 from Jimenez. It's too tight and low that time. Ball 4, and Reese Morkey now will take a little stroll to first. With 1 out, 1 runner gets on for the Nationals, and here comes Ty Hanneborg in prime position to not only advance the runner Race Morkey, but get himself on board against Carlos Jimenez. Hanneborg in a little bit of a hitting slump prior to the Shattering series, where he had only accrued 1 hit in the previous 3 games. Pitch. Fastball in there. Strike number 1 from Jimenez. Of course, you're new to this Hastings roster this season. They are a almost fresh new set of faces. Only 3 returning seniors or members from last year's team have made it onto this squad this year. So while they're 6-5 on the season as a pickoff attempt against Race Morkey back, while they're still 6-5 and 1 game above 500, a almost completely new squad for Hastings. It's 0-1 to count with 1 out to Race Morkey as Jimenez and Morkey get ready to battle it out once again. Excuse me, Ty Hanneborg as Morkey's at first. Correction. That's Jimenez. Steps and fires. Big swing and a miss for Ty Hanneborg. There's strike 2, and that's what's been a little bit of a problem for Hanneborg in terms of my observations during this kind of hitting slump. Taking a lot of big swings on pitches that are way outside the zone, trying to force some contact to advance runners, and so far has been unsuccessful for his endeavors. And we know he can be a good hitter. We look back to the Bulldog season when he was batting .400. Pitch, swing, and a miss on a fastball. 3 straight strikes from Carlos Jimenez. Gets Ty Hanneborg out for strike number 1, and assuming strike number 2, and out number 2, man. I'm having myself a day. That's what I get for choosing to move my entire apartment out yesterday. But now we're back to the top of the order with Caden Johnson. He drew a walk in his first plate appearance against Jimenez. Morkey at first for the Nationals. As the pitch, off speed, check swung by Johnson. It was a curveball that would have found its way into the zone either which way if he swung or didn't. Strike number 1. 0-1 with 2 down. Morkey still at first base for the Nationals, as Jimenez likes to sign from Adam Rutt, and will pick off Race Morkey, or attempt to, and gets back in time just barely. 0-1, 2 down here. Top of the second for the Nationals, leading 2-1. As Jimenez, who's up to 32 pitches already, fires his 33rd. Off speed, too tight inside. Great jump for Morkey on a steal, and he gets there in plenty of time. Race Morkey showing off the wheels as he successfully steals second base. First steal today for this Nationals base running unit, but it is an 0-2 count into Caden Johnson. And walked in his first plate appearance looking for the Nationals' second hit, which would score Morkey at second base. The 0-2. Swing and a miss on a pitch way up in the zone. There's strike number 3, out number 3, and the inning comes to an end. The Nationals did leave 1 base runner on the pads. We're going to the bottom of the second inning, a 2-1 lead for the FNBO Nationals. We can come back here, FM 98.1, AM 1410, and of course, video live streaming on NorthPlattePost.com.
The North Platte Public Schools prepares all students to be productive, responsible citizens in a safe, caring, supporting learning environment with caring staff, engaged engaging curriculum, clean facilities, and updated technology, you can rely on our schools giving your child the tools they need for a successful future. For more information, including enrollment and career opportunities, visit nppsd.org. North Platte Public Schools. Communicate, connect, commit.
With Sandhill State Bank's new upgraded cart management experience, you can now control your carts anytime, anywhere. The new features and added control allow you to prevent fraud like never before. Get increased transaction details, turn your card on and off whenever you like, and report your card lost in an instant, all from our mobile app. More insights, more control, and more security for your banking experience. Bank local and go far with digital banking solutions that go wherever you go. Visit sandhillstate.com to learn more. Sandhill State Bank, member FDIC.
Welcome back here, Duncan Field. It's now the bottom of the second inning. Nationals with a measly 2-1 lead. As now at bat comes Adam Rutt, the 8-hole hitter for Hastings. Again, our half inning breaks brought to you in part by Kevin McGann in the Fortify Group. You can check out Kevin McGann in the Fortify Group. His location, 621 South Dewey, Suite B. As well as our other sponsors for today's game, Premier Toyota. Premier Toyota just south of I-80 in North Platte invites you to stop out and take a test drive here today. Premier Toyota, let's go places. As first pitch into Rutt was right in the zone for strike number 1 from Easton Geisler. As his next pitch, though, will pull Ian McIntyre from his catching position. There's ball number 1. It's now 1-1 the count. As that one swung on, skied up, but drifting towards the seating arrangement area. Caught! Actually, it looks like, and they're going to call it. Wow, what a play by Easton Jones as he was making a play at the fence line. That ball was drifting towards out-of-play territory, and Easton Jones making a very, very elongated grab. Gets the first out of this bottom of the second inning. Now up to bat comes Parker Hodgson, the 9-hole hitter for this Hastings squad. Then back to the top of the order after him. That first pitch from Geisler is too far away. Ball number 1, it's 1-0 the count now. As he likes to sign, here comes another one. It's in there. Late call from home plate umpire, but he finds it 1-1 the count with 1 out now to Hodgson. As Geisler likes to sign once more. The next pitch swung. Big ol' swing and a miss from Parker Hodgson. It's now 1-2 the count. One and two with 1 out now. As Geisler looking for another strikeout, he delivers. Ooh, that fastball got a little too far ahead and throws it into the turf. 2-2. As here comes his payoff 2-2. Oh, off speed. Too far up into the zone. 3-2 the count now. It was a good start for Geisler here. And Parker Hodgson now is pushed to a full count. 3-2 with 1 out. Geisler sets and delivers. Swing and a miss. Another beautiful off speed. Another strikeout for Easton Geisler. And down goes Parker Hodgson for out number 2. And here comes Jaden Techmeyer. Led the game off with a strikeout. In his first at-bat, now looking to exact revenge in his second in this bottom of the second inning. First pitch from Geisler. Another good off-speed and curveball as it's in. Strike number 1. That one foul tipped off from Jaden Techmeyer for strike number 2. So it's 0-2 now to Techmeyer as Geisler looks for his second straight strikeout in this inning to end it. The 0-2. That one just barely grounded back up to middle. Gloved by Jack Polk to throw to first. Not in time. He actually gets past the first baseman. not going to be picked up by anybody as on over to second goes Jaden Techmeyer. He was thinking about third, but the throw will make its way into third. So an RBI, excuse me, a just single, and then turns into Techmeyer getting over to second with a passed up ball. Now has a runner in scoring position yet again for 5 Points Bank Hastings, with Evan Rust, who lined out to Caden Johnson in his first plate appearance, now up to bat. Again, it's Jaden Techmeyer in scoring position at second base, which would tie the game. Second hit today for 5 Points Bank. The pitch. That one's low on the curve for ball number 1 as it was in the dirt. 1-0. Pitch. Good sneak on the fastball as it's just on the outside part. 1-1. One and one, 2 down. Geisler trying to get out of this inning yet again without giving up a run. As his next pitch, curve is in, strike 2. Beautiful movement on the curveball as it sneaks in for another strike. And now it's 1-2 with 2 down. In this bottom of the second inning as Easton Geisler trending towards a strikeout gets ready. He glances at second. The 1-2. Skied up, drifting towards right field. Race Morkey running back, still running. He can't get to it. And that's going to be more bases for Hastings, an RBI double for Evan Rust. And just like that, this game is now all tied up with the third hit today for Hastings coming across. And with that, it's 2-2. In this bottom of the second inning to now bring up to bat Nick Conant, who's actually going to get walked on over to first. They intentionally walk Nick Conant. Interesting decision from Coach Ricky Holmes. So makes sense because with the runner at second being Evan Rust, there is a force out at any bag but home for the Nationals if there is a hit into the infield. That's a check swing from Hyde, but he doesn't go around at ball number 1 as it scoots away a little bit from Dean McIntyre. 1-0 the count. Though the scary part is if Nolan Hyde gets one into the outfield, one, maybe both runs will come across for Hastings. Here comes the 1-0. High and outside, ball 2. So it is a risky maneuver for head coach Ricky Holm. 2-2 the score. Bottom of the second, Tall tied up. 2-0 count with 2 down as Geisler glances at second and fires. Tight inside, and it's going to bounce off of the elbow of Nolan Hyde, just barely glances him. And because of that, he will now walk on over to first with the bases now loaded for Jackson Segru, who has a perfect opportunity to score multiple runs for Hastings. After he was hit by a pitch in his first appearance, no action in the bullpen for the Nationals. That curve, too much motion, gets into the turf for ball number 1. It's now 1-0 the count. 1-0, 2 down. Geisler fires another one. That fastball once again pulled into the turf. 2-0 now. As maybe you might see some action happen in the Nationals bullpen as Coach Ricky Holm and Andrew Broch is talking about some strategy. 2-0 now with 2 down in this bottom of the second. Pitch swung on into the glove of Easton Jones for out number 3. Yes, 1 run did come across, but the Nationals were able to avert disaster as we're now going to the top of the third. All tied up 2-2 when we come back here. FM 98.1, AM 1410, and of course video live streaming NorthPlattePost.com.
Are you in the market for a new or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV? Look no further than Bill Summers Ford Honda Nissan Lincoln for your next vehicle. Look online 24/7 at BillSummers.com. Bill Summers is Western Nebraska's leasing headquarters, and they have aggressive financing to get you into the vehicle you've been dreaming of. Check out all the inventory at BillSummers.com anytime. Bill Summers Ford Honda Nissan Lincoln, where families are our business. Highway 83 and Walker Road in North Platte, and online 24/7 at BillSummers.com. Free PC and Mac checkups at CT Computer Services in North Platte? That's right. Let CT Computer Services diagnose your systems to ensure your hardware integrity, security, and overall PC Mac health are running as they should. For a free PC Mac checkup, stop in at 905 South Willow in North Platte or call 308-534-3628. CT Computer Services, your IT guys since 2005.
Welcome back here to 1 Duncan Field. As the Nationals currently are tied up here with 5 points bank. Hastings 2-2 in this top of the third inning. Our half-inning breaks are brought to you in part by Kevin McGann and the Fortifying Group. Check out Kevin McGann and the Fortifying Group and all of his options and offers at his location. 621 South Dewey, Sweet Beat. As well as our other sponsors here for today's game, Premier Toyota. Premier Toyota, let's go places. Blaze Zeiler up for the second time today. He flew out in his first plate appearance against Carlos Jimenez, as you'll see a pitch inside for ball number 1. 1-0. Now quickly 2-0 as that fastball drifts up into the zone for ball 2. Two and 0, nobody out. The pitch to Zeiler. It's in there at the knees. Strike number 1. 2-1 now. Nobody out. Up next for the Nationals, Jack Polk with Dean McIntyre in the hole. Ooh, that one now 3-1 as it really gets away from Adam Rutt. It's 3-1 now. As Jimenez, trying to avoid the walk, delivers. He won't be able to as he walks Blaze Zeiler on that last pitch. On over to first he goes, and now a runner on the base pads for the Nationals to bring up the ever-dangerous Jack Polk to the plate. Zeiler, as we know to come and love, is a steal expert for the Nationals, and with that speed, it's no doubt we'll be seeing him run on over to first here, either on this first pitch or the next one, as Jimenez delivers. Oh, beautiful curve as it just reaches into the corner of the plate that Jack Polk wasn't thinking it could find, and it's 0-1 the count now. Oh and 1 now as Jimenez gets his sign and fires in. Fastball bounced back into the zone for strike 2. It's now 0-2 the count. No action still in either bullpen, so we're still sticking with the pitchers here today. A 2-2 game, 2 runs on 3 hits. No errors for 5 points bank Hastings. 2 runs on 1 hit and 1 error for the FNBO Nationals. Skied up and drifting towards the parking lot goes that hit from Jack Polk, so we'll still stay at 0-2. Dean McIntyre on deck with Easton Jones in the hole. Blaze Zeiler is at first, ready to steal when given the command. Wouldn't be shocked if it's right here. The 0-2, there goes Blaze Zeiler. Swung on and missed for strike 3. The throw to second will not be in time, so Jack Polk does go down swinging for out number 1, but that does mean that Blaze Zeiler will successfully steal second base. As Dean McIntyre checks in, he grounded out in his first plate appearance for the Nationals. Has a runner in scoring position. Blaze Zeiler at second with 1 out here in this top of the third inning. As Jimenez, long wait, will step back onto the plate after he readjusts his hat. He'll look to fire his first pitch into Dean McIntyre. He'll take a glance at second. Ooh, he double clutched on the pitch. And they are going to call a balk. A late call, but Seiler gets moved on over to third following the balk from Carlos Jimenez, double clutching before he pitches, and with that, Blaze Seiler is now just 90 feet away from home, threatening to score, as they were still waiting for the first pitch into Dean McIntyre. He swings and grounds one down the third base side for strike number 1. Oh and 1. 1 out. Jimenez fires. Swung on and fouled off yet again. Oh and 2, 1 out. Blaze Seiler at third base, threatening to score for the Nationals. They're tied 2-2, looking to break this even score line. Jimenez, though, looking for a strikeout. Delivers his 0-2. High upstairs on a fastball. It's ball 1. One and 2, 1 out. As Jimenez delivers again. That one gets into the great diving glove of Naz Robinson over to first in time for out number 2, but a run does come across for the Nationals. They now lead 3-2 over 5 Points Bank Hastings. Good sacrifice out from Dean McIntyre. And just like that, with nobody on and 2 down, here comes Easton Jones up to the plate. Jones today singled over the head of Nick Canant into the gap in left center field to help drive a run home. We'll first see a fastball from Carlos Jimenez that is just outside for ball number 1. But he'll bounce back with a fastball yet again that will find the zone this time. So it's now a 1-1 count to the third baseman, Easton Jones. The 1-1. He check swings, but that pitch is way in the turf. So good awareness from him to pull back. It's 2-1. Two and 1. The delivery. Pulling yet again away from Adam Rudd for ball 3. It's now 3-1 to Easton Jones. The 3-1. Tight inside, and there's ball 4 as Easton Jones will wander his way on over to first, and with 2 down in this top of the third inning, a runner gets on for the Nationals with Logan Hayes now up to bat. He flew out, though, to Carlos Jimenez in his first plate appearance. Does have a runner. Easton Jones at first as... Oh! Jones gets called out as he was trying to get back to first following the missed swing from Logan Hayes. He's arguing his case on over at first as he got tagged out on a pickoff attempt, and it's unfortunately how this inning will come to an end for the Nationals. With that, 1 run did come across. It's now 3-2 in favor of FNBO, and we come back here, FM 98.1, AM 1410, and as always, video live streaming on NorthPlattePost.com.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Find me, Brent Rogo, at 502 East Francis.
The
The DNN Event Center wishes everyone a great sports season. With North Platte and Nebraska weather, things change quickly and can make our lives a little more difficult. Thank goodness for the DNN. The DNN offers hourly rentals for all types of sports practices, including turf, courts, batting cages, and equipment usage. Call the DNN Event Center to schedule your team's practice times and for more league information for all sports seasons. For over 30 years in our community, for your next event, the DNN Event Center.
Welcome back here to Duncan Field. Nationals now leading this ball game against 5 Points Bank Hastings. 3-2. 3 runs, 1 hit, 1 error for the Nationals. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for 5 Points Bank Hastings. Up to bat, Naz Robinson. He was hit by a pitch in his first plate appearance. Our half-inning breaks is always brought to you in part by Kevin McGann and the Fortify Group. Check out Kevin McGann and the Fortify Group. His location, 621 South Dewey, Suite B. As Easton Geisler still on the mound for side of the Nationals. Fires a pitch that's in for strike number 1. To Naz Robinson, but bounces back with something that's outside the zone. For ball number 1, so now it's a count of 1-1. As the next pitch from Geisler once again outside. It's ball number 2. 2-1 the count now as he'll receive his information from Dean McIntyre and throw his 2-1. Swung on over and into the glove of Ty Hanneborg for out number 1 here in this bottom of the 3rd inning. Following that, Dayton Espino now checks in. He struck out swinging in his first plate appearance against Easton Geisler. Nobody on, 1 down. Thank you again to our sponsors for today's game. This is Kevin McGann, Fortify Group. Check out Kevin McGann, the Fortify Group. His location, 621 South Dewey, Suite B. As well as our other sponsors here for today's game. 1 Sandhills State Bank. Also coming to Brandon Bank with locations in North Platte, Ogallala, Grant, and many more. Head to sandhillstate.com for a full list of services and locations. 1-1 the count now to Espino, the right fielder. Today's game for Hastings as Easton Geisler sets and fires. Ooh, tight inside, almost hitting Espino again. It's 2-1 now. As the next one from Geisler on the curve will pull Dean McIntyre away from his catching position. As it's 3-1 now to Espino. As here it comes. That's high upstairs, ball 4, and Espino walks to first with the walk, and now it's Adam Rutt checking in. He flew out to Easton Jones just around the third base line. Still 1 down, Espino at first. Rutt now up to bat. As that pitch, whoa, almost going to hit the back of Adam Rutt, and now time is going to be called as out comes Coach Ricky Holm to have a talk with Easton Geisler, and he pointed toward the dugout, and now we're going to have a pitching change on the mound as Geisler will now go to the bench, and Caden Johnson will now be coming up to pitch for FNBO as Geisler will finish today's game with 62 pitches, 33 balls, and 29 strikes. And now with a 1-0 count into Adam Rutt, it's Caden Johnson's time to see what he can do for this Nationals pitching staff that, again, is trying to make its way through a tough part of the schedule. So Zeiler, who's a designated hitter now, moves out to center field. Geisler will have his day come to an end, and now it's time for Caden Johnson to come up to pitch. We've seen him a couple of times for the Legion team over the last few seasons, and also last season for the North Platte High Bulldogs, though not really a viable option as he is just so good out in center field that you can't really take him out. But with how the pitching rotation has gone, with so many games that have been played so far, gotta get a little creative, and with that, Caden Johnson out comes to the mound. Thank you to our sponsors here for today's game. Of course, that will be CT Computer Services, your IT guy since 2005. He'll be facing an Adam Rutt. Caden Johnson will, in a 1-0 count to Rutt. Runner at first being Dayton Espino for Hastings. Hastings, though, doesn't have any action in their bullpen. They're still sticking with Carson Jimenez on the mound as Johnson gets his warm-up pitches done, and now out comes Rutt. Following Adam Rutt, 9-1 in the order, Parker Hodgen, and then Jaden Techmeyer. As here we go, ready to get things rocking and rolling. Got a 3-2 lead for the Nationals here in the bottom of the third inning. They got that run an inning ago. As Johnson's first pitch, a fastball, is tied inside for ball number 2 to Adam Rutt. 2-0 with one down. As a pickoff attempt will not be in time as Espino gets back safely. So we'll still stay at 2-0 the count. To Adam Rutt. Again, flew out to Easton Jones at third base in his last plate appearance. That off speed right down the middle there. Strike number 1. It's 2-1 the count now. As another pickoff attempt will not be in time. Two one. That one lofted into center field. Blaze Eiler runs on to get it, but it falls just in front of him for a base hit from Adam Rutt. So following that single from the side of Adam Rutt, it's now Parker Hodgen who comes up to bat. He struck out swinging in his last plate appearance. Courtesy runners coming in. Royer Delora will now check in as he'll be the courtesy runner for Adam Rutt. At second is Dayton Espino. So 2 runners are on in this bottom of the third inning, as it's Parker Hodgen yet again who has checked in for the hitting unit for Hastings, as he'll see a pitch just on the corner for strike 1. It's 2-1 now. Or excuse me, 0-1. God, my count's messed up. 1 out, bottom of the third. The pitch, curveball way upstairs. Ball number 1, it made Dean McIntyre have to fly out of his catching position to glove it. Now with this 1-1 count, Johnson looking to bring it down, drilling it into left field. It's going to get past and foul. Oh, it stays fair. Looked like it went foul, but 1 run comes across. An RBI single from Parker Hodgen. It just barely stayed fair on that left field line, and because of that, a run comes home for 5 Points Bank Hastings. Their 3rd run today on their 4th hit. And now it's Jaden Techmeyer. Center fielder comes up to bat now. Struck out swinging in his first plate appearance. Singled in his second. Has Royer Delora at second and Parker Hodgen at first. As that one lifted into the gap in right center field, but there's Race Morkey to glove it for out number 2. But the runners, particularly more appropriately, Delora at second will tag and move his way to third. So now runners at the corners for Evan Rust. He doubled in his last plate appearance to right field over the head of Race Morkey. And then has a runner at third base being Delora. as Johnson ready to get things rocking and rolling. Has runners at the corners. 5th hit today already for this Hastings squad in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Joni's pitch is way upstairs, ball 1. One and 0 with 2 down. 3-3 lead for nobody as it's tied. A pickoff attempt. No good as Hodgin gets back. As Joni's next pitch is a fastball in there. Strike number 1. It's 1-1 the count now. As his next pitch is swung on and missed. Just barely foul tipping it off for strike 2. As another 3rd pickoff attempt in this at-bat to Evan Rust is no good. It's 1-2 the count. As that next pitch just pulls away Dean McIntyre. Because of that, it allows the runner at first base, who is Parker Hodgin, to successfully steal second. So runners are at 2nd and 3rd with 2-2 count and 2 outs. This bottom of the 4th inning, bottom of the 3rd. Joni's pitch outside, ball 3 now, 3-2 the count. Caden Johnson trying to avoid a walk to load the bases against Evan Rust. As time goes out. Time is called, and out comes Dean McIntyre to have a talk with Johnson. Three and 2, as now Evan Rust will call time to reset back up. 3-2, 2 outs. As this pitch, will be reached and pulled into the parking lot, foul. So we'll still stay at 3-2. Here comes the 3-2. Popped up once again. Landon Greeno running on for it, but it's fouled. Here we go. Another 3-2 pitch with 2 down. As Johnson likes the sign from McIntyre. The now 3rd 3-2 pitch on the way. In there, strike 3, down goes Rust. And that's how this inning will come to an end. As with that, we now go to the top of the 4th, still tied 3-3 right here, FM 98.1, AM 1410, and video live stream at NorthPlattePost.com.
Where do you go for wings?
Dave's Place.
Where do you go for pizza?
Dave's Place.
What about cold drinks, a family atmosphere, and nightly specials?
Dave's Place.
Sounds like a sweep for Dave's Place. Pizza made from fresh dough, drink deals, and yes, the best pizza and wings.
It's Dave's Place.
Dave's Place on East 4th Street or at davesplacenp.com.
Order it, carry out, DoorDash. Dave's Place. Whoop, whoop.
Great Plains Health Orthopedics in North Platte is ready to serve you with board-certified orthopedic surgeons and a team of medical professionals who specialize in hip, knee, and shoulder joint replacements and revisions, minor to complex hand injuries, sports medicine for both the serious athlete and the weekend warrior, new and innovative operative and non-operative procedures, and work-related injuries. Same-week appointments are available. Call Great Plains Health Orthopedics today.
Your health is our mission. Great Plains Health.
Welcome Welcome back here to, again, Duncan Field. Top of the fourth inning, a 3-3 ball game. Nationals tied up with 5 points. Bank Hastings. Happening breaks brought to you in part by Kevin McGann and the Fortifying Group. Check out Kevin McGann, the Fortifying Group. His location, 621 South Dewey, Suite B. So those are other sponsors for today's game. CT Computer Services, your IT guy, since 2005. Logan Hayes now up to bat here against Carlos Jimenez. He flew out to Jimenez in his first plate appearance, looking to change that approach here on round number 2. That one lofted, grounded, out of the glove of Jackson Shagru, and with that, on over to first goes Logan Hayes with the single to lead off this top of the fourth inning against Jimenez. Now let's see what Landon Greeno can do. He grounded out in his first plate appearance to Nick Canant. Pitch. Buntley down by Greeno, back beautifully to the pitcher Jimenez. The throw to first in time. Logan Hayes bolting to third. He gets there safely. Beautiful attempt from the Nationals as Hayes moved over to second on the bunt and then saw when the throw went to first that he can make it to third in time. And with one down, there's a runner in scoring position on over at third base. As that one's going to nail off the back of Race Morkey on a fastball from Carlos Jimenez. And with that, there's now runners at the corners for Ty Hanneborg. He struck out swinging in his first plate appearance against Carlos Jimenez. He now has, again, Morkey at first. Logan Hayes just 90 feet away at third base, and time is going to be called as out comes Carlos Jimenez, or excuse me, Adam Rutt, the catcher. As well, I believe, trying to find who that coach coming out. I believe that's Coach Marquardt. Yeah, it's Blake Marquardt who comes out and has a conversation with his infield with runners at the corners and one out. The Nationals once again threatening to score here to break this tie. Every single inning has resulted in a tie that then gets immediately broken by the Nationals in the next inning. So we're on pace for a crazy end to this game. 3-3 at the moment. With now outcoming the home plate official to talk with Marquardt to let him know his time is up. So now that the conference is done, we're going to get Ty Hanneborg now up to bat for the second time today. He struck out swinging in his first plate appearance against Jimenez. He has Morkey at first, Hayes at third, threatening to score. As a pickoff attempt is no good as Morkey gets back. As Jimenez once again will fire. Skied into the heavens there from Ty Hanneborg. Underneath it gets Evan Rust. Tagging up goes Logan Hayes. The throw home will not be in time as Hayes on a sacrifice fly will come home and the run gets scored. And now, just like that, we're untied again, and it's a 4-3 lead for the Nationals as Caden Johnson now comes up to bat for the third time. He walked in his first plate appearance. Struck out swinging in his second. As first pitch. There goes the runner. Morkey bounces off the ground. Adam Rutt can't play it, and Race Morkey now successfully steals second off of the pitch in the turf from Carlos Jimenez. As now, here comes Jimenez's pitch. Swung on into left field for a base hit. Here comes Race Morkey home. Gloved up by Techmeyer. Not going to be in time. A sliding double for Caden Johnson. And the Nationals now not only pick up their second hit today, but also their second run this inning. It's now 5-3 in favor of FNBO with a runner at second being Caden Johnson. Another one skied into the heavens, but fouled down the left field side. So now it's a 0-1 count from Zeiler. He, of course, flew out in his first plate appearance and then walked in his second. Johnson at second base for the Nationals, threatening to score here. As Jimenez's fastball will sneak in for strike two. It's now an 0-2 count to the now center fielder for the Nationals in this game, with Caden Johnson taking over on the mound. 0-2 with 2 down. As Jimenez goes, the runner goes, but swing and a miss for strike number 3. Down goes Zeiler, and that's how this inning will come to an end here with now a 5-3 lead for the Nationals as we go to the bottom of the fourth inning on FM 98.1, AM 1410, and as always, video live streaming at NorthPlattePost.com.
Growing up, my parents always encouraged me to do what's right, even if it wasn't easy. I'd always hear my mother's voice say, "Do the right thing." That stuck with me. Every day, just do the right thing. That's it. The rest takes care of itself.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe in doing the right thing for our customers and our communities.
Ask me, Matthew Musselman, about Shelter's auto, home, and life options.
Exciting news! North Platte and surrounding communities, Great Plains Health Home Care Equipment has a new address. Find them at 220 West Leota Street, Suite 1, right beside Great Plains Urgent Care. Their professional staff is fully qualified to help you meet your needs. From wheelchairs to mobility scooters, lift chairs, and more, they have everything to make your home safe and comfortable. They've got you covered. Call Great Plains Health Home Care Equipment today at 308-568-8510. Let them help you regain your independence.
Welcome back here to Duncan Field. Nationals with a now 2-run lead over 5 Points Bank Hastings here in this bottom of the fourth inning. Our half-inning breaks brought to you in part by Kevin McGann and the Fortify Group. Check out Kevin McGann and the Fortify Group. His location, 621 South Dewey, Suite B. Up to bat now, Nick Canant for the side of Hastings here in this bottom of the fourth inning. It is now 5 runs on 2 hits, 1 error for the Nationals. 3 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for 5 Points Bank Hastings. Caden Johnson on the mound for the first full inning of work in his relief effort for Easton Geisler. Geisler 69 pitches in today's game. Johnson taking over now as the relief pitcher as his first pitch is upstairs for ball number 1. 1-0 the count. Bottom of the fourth inning. 2 teams once again playing it close as that off speed too high for ball 2. 2-0 the count now. Again, that there's only been 1 half inning where a run hasn't come across for either side, and that was the Nationals in the top of the second inning as that fastball is too tight inside once again for ball 3. So every single half inning there's been a run to come across, and that's how we've gotten to this 5-3 lead. Bottom of the fourth. Next pitch from Johnson in there for strike number 1 on the fastball. Now 3-1 the count to the shortstop, Nick Canant. Nolan Hyde on deck with Jackson Segru in the hole. The 3-1. Drifting and lifted into left field for a base hit. Logan Hayes lets it get past him, so Canant can be on for extra bases. He will walk in with a single that now turns into him on over at second base. So an unfortunate mistake in the outfield for Logan Hayes results in Canant making his way to second. And now a runner is in scoring position with nobody out for Nolan Hyde. Hyde so far today singled in his first plate appearance, then was hit by a pitch in his next one from Geisler. Here against Caden Johnson for the first time today. Johnson trying to get out of this inning, not allowing to run and come across. He'll ground one on over to Easton Jones. Jones throws to first. It's in time, and there's out number 1 of this inning. Big ground ball from the Nationals, as it'll keep Canant on over at second. It's Jackson Shagrew now who's up to bat. Hit by a pitch in his first appearance, line drived out to Easton Jones in his third as Polk steps off and Nick Canant scrambles back to second. 5-3 lead for the Nationals in this bottom of the 4th inning. Wind just barely gusting on over to right field. That one swung on and missed by Shagrew for strike number 1. It's 0-1 the count now with 1 out. Johnson up to 19 pitches, 12 strikes, 7 balls. Checking in relief for Easton Geisler. The 0-1 pitch swung on, grounded over to Jack Polk. He gloves it. Big throw to first. It gets over the head of Landon Greeno, and with that error, a run will come across for 5 Points Bank Hastings. Jack Polk, who normally doesn't make mistakes, unfortunately throws that one over the head of Landon Greeno. And because of that, a run does come across home for Hastings. 5-4. The 3rd error today for the Nationals. So Naz Robinson now checks in with runners at the corners. Actually, correction, runners at 3rd and 2nd. As that first pitch from Caden Johnson's in there, strike number 1 to Robinson. 0-1 the count. With 1 out, bottom of the 4th. Runners in scoring position of Jackson Shagrew at 2nd and Nick Canant at 3rd. Curveball, beautifully thrown in for strike 2. 0-2 the count now with 1 out. 30 errors have already been put in effect for the Nationals here today. Next pitch, swung on, rounded, gloved by Easton Jones. The throw on over to first, in time. And just like that, a run does come home a runner at 3rd now moves their way on over to runs their way on over to 3rd base now. 5-4 lead following that ground out from Naz Robinson. Dayton Espino up to bat. He'll see a pitch that's, just outside, barely. Ball number 1 to Espino. Jackson Shagrew at 3rd base. That's the game-tying run at 3rd base as Joni fires. Curveball in, strike number 1. 1-1 now the count with 2 down in this inning. 5-4 lead now for the Nationals. 5 runs, 2 hits, 3 errors. There's another curveball just barely outside as Coach Holm not happy with that call. That one looked to be right in the zone, no good. So 2-1 with 2 down. Next pitch from Johnson. Slowly grounded right up the middle for a base hit. And with that, another run comes across. And we are all tied up here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 5-5 as Espino singles one into center field for the 7th hit today for Hastings. As now up to bat comes Adam Rutt. Flew out in his first appearance, singled in his 2nd. And with 2 down, As a runner at first being Dayton Espino. As Nationals now are tied once again with Hastings 5-5 as Johnson's fastball pulled outside for ball one. These two teams just can't stay separated in this game. Nationals get to their largest lead, which is 2 runs, and then it's immediately answered back by Hastings, as that's fouled off for strike number 1. Dayton Espino still at first. Johnson 28 total pitches in relief for Easton Geisler. We could be looking at quite a scoring affair type of game. Pitch. Curveball in strike number 2 to Adam Rutt. 1-2 with 2 down. 1 runner on Espino at first. As Johnson steps and fires. There goes the runner. Curveball. Not going to be in there for strike number 3. And now it's Coach Ricky Holm having a little jaw at the home plate umpire as that curveball looked to have hit the zone yet again, but didn't. And because of that, the runner at first, Espino, successfully steals second. That is now back-to-back pitches in this at-bat, where the curveball from Caden Johnson just doesn't find the zone when it looks like it's in. That off-speed in there, strike 3. That one might be a makeup call, as it was outside from my point of view, but we're going to make our way now to the top of the 5th inning as we're all tied up 5-5 when we come back here to 1 Duncan Field. Here on FM 98.1, AM 1410, and video live streaming at NorthPlattePost.com.
Growing up, my parents always encouraged me to do what's right, even if it wasn't easy. I'd always hear my mother's voice say, "Do the right thing." That stuck with me. Every day, just do the right thing. That's it. The rest takes care of itself.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe in doing the right thing for our customers and our communities.
See me, Pete Foltz, at 501 South Jeffers for a free insurance review.
Are you ready to embark on an exciting new career? Larry's Glass has been a trusted name in custom glass design for over 40 years, and they are seeking a skilled glazier to join their team. If you have a passion for precision and craftsmanship, this is the perfect opportunity for you. Install glass in commercial, residential, and auto settings. Get paid while you train for a new career. Stop into Larry's Glass at 211 West 5th Street, North Platte, and discuss how you can be part of their team and build a fulfilling career.
Welcome back, Duncan Field. Nationals now all tied up with 5 points. Bank Hastings 5-5 here in this top of the 5th inning. Our half-inning breaks brought to you in part by Kevin McGann, the Fortify Group. Check out Kevin McGann, the Fortify Group. His location, 621 South Dewey, Suite B. As well as our other sponsors for today's game, Dave's Place Pizza and Wings. To find out more, 1510 East, 4th Street for all their daily specials, wings, and more. Jack Polk up to bat. He struck out swinging in his last plate appearance against Carlos Jimenez. He also was hit by a pitch by Jimenez in his first at-bat. Jimenez up to 60 total pitches, 35 strikes, 25 balls. Has given up only 2 hits, though, but 5 runs on those 2 hits. 5 runs, 2 hits, 3 errors for the Nationals. 5 runs on 7 hits, 1 error for 5 points Bank Hastings. Again, Hastings so far with an 1-0 series lead this season after defeating the Nationals in the bottom of the 7th inning, or excuse me, top of the 7th inning, might they say, in their first appearance this season, as that fastball finds its way into the strike zone against Jack Polk for strike number 1 from Jimenez. 2 up for the Nationals, Dean McIntyre on deck with Easton Jones in the hole. The 0-1 pitch. That's high upstairs, ball number 1. Jack Polk at shortstop. Polk did throw an error in his defensive game today, which is something you rarely see, so you can kind of start to see how the wear and the tear of the season has resulted on some of these players as he swings and misses strike number 2. Of course, Polk rarely makes mistakes at shortstop. That error one that you rarely see, and it cost the Nationals a run. 1-2 the count now from Carlos Jimenez to Jack Polk as he gets set and delivers the pitch. It's high up in the corner, ball number 2, 2-2 the count. 5-5 ball game here. As Jimenez likes what he sees and delivers. Curveball in there, strike 3. Jack Polk thought it was outside the zone, and it wasn't. And with that, 1 out here in this top of the 5th is down. Jack Polk goes looking on strikes. And now up to bat comes Dean McIntyre. 2 ground outs to Naz Robinson in today's game. As he'll be facing Carlos Jimenez for the 3rd time. Swings and misses on a fastball outside for strike number 1. It's 0-1 the count now. Nobody on, 1 out. Top of the 5th inning, a 5-5 ball game. Jimenez, the deep breath, delivers his next pitch. Squared up, drifting into right field. Espino is going to get under it, and he gloves it there for out number 2. And 2 up, 2 down are where we're at right now. In this top of the 5th inning is now it's Easton Jones who will make an appearance. He's 1 for 1 today. He singled into the gap in left center field in his first appearance and walked in his second. Looking to start something with 2 outs. This top of the 5th for the Nationals to break the tie. He swings and pulls one into the parking lot for strike number 1. 0-1 the count now. Logan Hayes on deck with Landon Garino in the hole for FNBO and the Nationals. Jimenez lines up, 0-1. It's too low in the turf, ball number 1. It's 1-1 the count now with 2 outs. 5-5 is the lead for nobody as we're all tied up. Here comes the 1-1 pitch from Jimenez. Curveball is too high off the fingers. It's ball number 2. 2-1 the count now. Nobody on, 2 down, top of the 5th. Jimenez looking for the final out of this inning to go 1-2-3, top of the 5th. Pitch. Skied up into center field, absolutely crushed, but Evan Russ comes on. He can't make the grab as it gets through his glove on the diving attempt. And with that, Easton Jones slides in for a double, a 2-out double for one Easton Jones as Evan Rust couldn't get to it in time in center field. And now there's a runner in scoring position for the Nationals with 2 down. Another opportunity to break the tie between these 2 teams as it's Logan Hayes. He singled in his last plate appearance, flew out in his first, and now as a runner at second being Easton Jones, prime opportunity to score him if given the opportunity. Jimenez likes what he sees and delivers. That one lofted down for a base hit. Canans throw to first, not in time. Easton Jones is coming home. He will not get there in time. Out he goes. A gutsy call from Easton Jones, as well as Coach Ricky Holm to get a nice easy run potentially, but it doesn't work out. And with that, this inning comes to an end for the Nationals. No runs on 1 hit on the side of Easton Jones. We're going to make our way now, bottom of the 5th inning, right here, FM 98.1, AM 1410, and video live streaming at NorthPlattePost.com.
We're always open right around the corner. Quick Stop.
Save money at the pump and Quick Stop with the DinoPay app. DinoPay offers contactless payment using your preferred debit or credit card. The savings add up with 12 cents per gallon and even more on Tuesdays and Thursdays with rollbacks for savings of 15 cents per gallon. Huge savings. The Sinclair DinoPay saving you at the pump. Don't forget Frazzle Gourmet Slushes and For Real Shakes and Smoothies. Gourmet coffee at everyday low prices on your favorite beers.
Quick Stop.
The North Platte Public Schools prepares all students to be productive, responsible citizens in a safe, caring, supporting learning environment with caring staff, engaging curriculum, clean facilities, and updated technology. You can rely on our schools giving your child the tools they need for a successful future. For more information, including enrollment and career opportunities, visit nppsd.org. North Platte Public Schools. Communicate, connect, commit.
Welcome back here, bottom of the 5th inning. Nationals tied up with 5 points. Bank Hastings 5-5. Caden Johnson still on the mound for the Nationals. Will be taking on Parker Hodgen here for his third time. Our half-inning break scores brought to you in part by Kevin McGann, the Fortify Group. Check out Kevin McGann, the Fortify Group. His location, 621 South Dewey, Suite B, and our other sponsors here for today's game. CT Computer Services, your IT guy since 2005. That one grounded foul down the first base side for strike number 1 to Hodgen. 9, 1, and 2 in the order for 5 Points Bank Hastings here in this bottom of the 5th. Techmeyer on deck with Evan Rust in the hole for this Hastings squad. That next pitch from Johnson is low for ball 1. It's 1-1 the count now. Caden Johnson up to 33 pitches, 21 strikes, and 12 balls. As he fires his next one, skied and lifted towards left field. Logan Hayes getting under it, and he gloves it easily for out number 1. One out here in this bottom of the 5th for the Hastings offense. Jaden Techmeyer now makes an appearance. Struck out swinging in his first at-bat. Singled past the glove of Jack Polk in his second, and then flew out into right field in his third. 1 for 3 today for the left fielder, Jaden Techmeyer. Johnson's first pitch, just outside. Ball number 1. It's 1-0 the count now to Techmeyer. Evan Rust on deck with Nick Canant in the hole. Joni's 1-0. Another fastball that's too tight inside and low. Ball 2. Techmeyer looking to get a walk on here with 1 out. The pitch, way outside yet again. It's 3-0 the count. 3-0 with 1 out. Nobody on. For Hastings is Caden Johnson. Will now fire his next pitch. Way upstairs, ball 4. 4-pitch walk for Jaden Techmeyer. On over to first he goes. And now it's Evan Rust up to bat. Rust line drived out in his first plate appearance to Blaze Zeiler, or Caden Johnson in his first appearance. Doubled in over the head of Race Morkey in right field in his second, but then struck out looking in his third. He's going up against Caden Johnson. A pickoff attempt, not in time as Techmeyer gets back. Rust looking to advance Techmeyer from first and get their first lead today. In all of the chaos that has been this baseball game, Hastings has yet to lead at any point. As that ball too close to Rust, or ball number 1 outside the zone. Johnson trying to find some action with that off ball. As we go into it quite often. Another pickoff attempt gets Techmeyer back. 1 ball, no strikes to Evan Rust. This is a scary hitter for Hastings, so if he lofts one into the outfield, it could mean trouble. The 1-0. Swung on and into center field for a base hit. And it's going to get past the center fielder, Blaze Zeiler. Oh no, and with that, runners are now in scoring position for Evan Rust. Zeiler can't scoop it up, and now they're going to intentionally walk Nick Canant to load the bases with 1 out here in this ball game. So after the walk from Canant, it's Nolan Hyde who comes up to bat. Hyde here today, 1 for 2, single in his first appearance to center field. Was hit by a pitch in his second and then grounded out in his third appearance for Hastings. As now the infield playing to the grass as Johnson fires his first pitch. Off speed in for strike number 1. Again, 1 out here. Bottom of the 5th inning. 1 out, 5-5 lead. 5 runs now on 8 hits for Hastings. Johnson's next pitch. Swing and a miss from Nolan Hyde. It's now strike number 2. It's 0-2 the count now. As Hyde trending towards a strikeout here with 1 out. As Johnson will step off and reassess the sign. Here comes the 0-2 pitch from Caden Johnson here today. Swung on and foul down the first base side. So far today for Hastings, when they've had the bases loaded, they're 0 for 2 on bringing runs home. And these opportunities. We make it 0 for 3. The 0-2. Swung on once again and fouled back by Hyde for strike number 2. 0-2 with 1 out. Runners at every base pad. Techmeyer at third. Rust at second. Nick Canan at first. The pitch. Oh, it's in there. Strike number 3. And Nolan Hyde had some words to say about that. And there's out number 2. A beautiful curve from Caden Johnson. And now Jackson Shagru up to bat. Hit by a pitch in his first appearance. Line drive out to Easton Jones in the second, then reached on an error in his third. He gets one into right field for a base hit. 1 run comes across. They're bringing another one home. It gets past Race Morkey. So 1 run, 2 runs scored, 3 runs scores. A bases clearing error for the Nationals outfield again, as Race Morkey misplays the ball in right field. 5th error today for the Nationals on simple mistakes. And because of that, the largest lead today for Hastings comes about. Their first lead today, and it's now 8-5 with Naz Robinson up to bat and Shagru at second. Ball number 1 thrown from Caden Johnson. It's 1-0. Nine hits today for Hastings on with 8 runs to go along with them. Pitch. Off speed is away from Naz Robinson. Ball 2. I don't see any action in the bullpen for the Nationals right now. They're going to stick with Caden Johnson here for a little bit longer. 2-0 with still 2 outs in this bottom of the 5th inning. The pitch. Once again pulls McIntyre up from his catching position. Ball number 3. 3-0 the count now with 2 down. As Johnson fires. That time back in the zone for strike number 1. 3-1 the count. Three and 1. 2 down. Johnson with a long glance at second. Fires. And there's ball number 4 as he throws one into the dirt, and out comes head coach Ricky Holm to have a talk with his pitcher after another walk in this inning. 2 runners are on with 2 down. Up next now, Dayton Espino singled in his last plate appearance up into center field. Struck out swinging in his first and then walked in his second. So with 2 outs, the Nationals surrendering 3 runs across this inning. It's now 8-5 the lead for 5 Points Bank Hastings. 5 runs on 9 hits. 1 error for the squad. 5 runs, 4 hits, 5 errors for the Nationals in this ball game. You know, it kind of has been a series of, excuse me real quick. It's been a series of roller coastery games for the Nationals these last few, and they really have come down to also not a lot of clean play, as they've surrendered a boatload of errors in every single game so far in the last week. First pitch into Espino is there for strike number 1. 0-1 the count now to the right fielder. Adam Rutt on deck with Parker Hodgen in the hole. So back to the top of the order here soon. Coming up for Hastings. The 0-1 pitch. Curveball swung on and missed by Espino for strike number 2. It's 0-2 the count now. 0-2 with 2 down. 8-5 lead for 5 Points Bank Hastings. Johnson rerunning the sign once again. He gets ready and now will fire in his 0-2. Oh, it gets away from Dean McIntyre, and with that, both runners will advance 1 base pad with the passed up ball. 1-2 the count now from Caden Johnson to Dayton Espino. 1-2. Yet again, 2 outs. Johnson up to 53 pitches in today's ball game. As he winds up and fires. Pulls away from McIntyre on the curve. It's now 2-2 the count with 2 down. Johnson looking to find that elusive final out. Gets one as he swings and misses, Espino does. And that's how this bottom of the 5th comes to an end, not before 3 runs came across for 5 Points Bank Hastings. We're going now to the top of the 6th inning. Nationals trailing 8-5. We come back here, FM 98.1, AM 1410, and as always, video live streaming at NorthPlattePost.com.
Buying a car? It's not always the most pleasant experience, but it doesn't have to be that way. 23 years. That's how long Premier Toyota has been in North Platte community, delivering a car buying experience that's friendly, easy, and fun. Check PremierAutoplex.com first, then stop by your lot at 2600 South Willow Street in North Platte. Come see us. Premier Toyota for your next new Toyota or pre-owned vehicle. Premier Toyota at PremierAutoplex.com.
Chuck is a Runza French fry superfan.
Can't get enough of them.
Is it the crinkly goodness?
Kinda.
Is it the way the crinkles on the fry expertly hold the Runza ranch?
Yeah.
Is it the fact that Runza Kringle fries look like tiny accordions?
Once you see it, you can't unsee it. It makes me so happy.
You're not wrong, Chuck. Because from the way we make it to the way it makes you feel, Runza makes it all better.
Welcome back here to 1 Duncan Field, top of the 6th inning. It is a 8-5 lead in favor of 5 Points Bank Hastings after 3 runs come across last inning for this 5 Points Bank squad. 8 runs, 9 hits, 1 error compared to the 5 runs on 4 hits and 5 errors for the FNBO Nationals. Another game with 5 errors, and Coach Holm probably not too ecstatic about that being on the plate today for FNBO. Due up next for this squad, it's Landon Greeno. He's 0 for 2 today with 2 groundouts, 1 to Nick Canan at short, and then Carlos Jimenez in his second. Jimenez still on the mound. So far, it's looking like Jimenez might go the entire game, as I see no action in the bullpen for Hastings, as we are fastly approaching the top of the 7th inning, which could be the last opportunity for the Nationals offense. Here comes Jimenez's pitch. It's outside. Ball number 1 to Greeno. 1-0 the count. Following Landon Greeno, Race Morkey, then Ty Hanneborg for FNBO. As the 1-0, too high again, ball 2. Good patience from the first baseman, Greeno. As he's now looking to get on with a walk to probably and hopefully get the engine started for this Nationals offense. That pitch in there at the knees, though, for strike number 1. 2-1 now the count. Nobody on, nobody out. Top of the 6th inning, a 8-5 lead for 5 Points Bank Hastings. As that fastball off the mark yet again from Jimenez. It's ball 3, 3-1 the count now to Landon Greeno. Here comes that 3-1 pitch. It's, just in. Strike 2 from Jimenez. It's now 3-2 the count. With nobody on, Greeno patiently waiting. The 3-2 pitch. That one slowly grounded to Canant at short. He gloves it up. The throw to first. It's in time, and there's one out here in this top of the 6th inning for 5 Points Bank Hastings. So Race Morkey now appears. He walked in his first appearance and was hit by a pitch in his second on the back. And with 1 out, trying to find the 5th hit today for the Nationals. They've only accrued 4 so far. That pitch from Jimenez up top and above the zone, ball number 1. 1-0 the count. As here comes the next pitch from one Carlos Jimenez. It's in there. Strike number 1. 1-1 now the count. with 1 out. Jimenez likes the sign from Adam Rutt. And we'll get into his motion for now is 1-1. Curveball fouled off by Morkey for strike number 2. 1-2 the count. Following Morkey, Ty Hanneborg, then Caden Johnson. If we can get to Johnson. 8-5 lead. A 1-2 count to the right fielder, Race Morkey. As Jimenez looks for yet again another strikeout here today. The 1-2. It's in there, strike 3. Down goes Morkey. He doesn't like that call, but still gets it out either way, and there's 2 down in this top of the 6th inning for Ty Hanneborg. He struck out in his first plate appearance. Sacrifice flew out for a run in his previous. Following Hanneborg, then it's Caden Johnson and Blaze Zeidler for the Nationals. As Jimenez now gets ready to fire his first pitch into Hanneborg for this at-bat. Check swing, it's down low in the turf, ball 1. 1-0 the count now to one young Ty Hanneborg. As the next fire in from Jimenez for his 84th pitch is upstairs again. It's 2-0 the count. 2-0 with 2 down. 8-5 lead for Hastings. Nobody on. Top of the 6th inning. 2-0. In there. Strike number 1 from Jimenez. It's 2-1 now. Two down, 2-1. As Hanneborg trying to find his first hit today to keep this inning alive for the Nationals. He'll step back and let one fly out the zone for ball 3. It's 3-1. Hanneborg trending towards a walk with 2 outs here. Which would be pretty big for this Nationals offense as they can maybe get some momentum going on the base paths. Jimenez with a 3-1 count delivers. In there, strike number 2. With that now, a 3-2 full count to Ty Hanneborg. Huge count for this Nationals offense. They try to find some offense either which way it can come. Jimenez likes the sign from Rutt. The 3-2. It's way upstairs, ball 4, and with that, Hanneborg's going to take a stroll on over to first base. And now up to bat comes Caden Johnson. Walked in his first appearance, struck out in his second, doubled in his third to left field out the reach of Jaden Techmeyer. Brought 2 runs across. Now seeing if he can keep this inning alive with Ty Hanneborg on over at first base for the Nationals. As Jimenez fires his first pitch. Drilled into center field. It gets down in front of Evan Rust, and that's a 2-out single from Caden Johnson. 5th hit today for the Nationals. And now they have 2 runners on the base paths. With 2 outs in this top of the 6th inning is Blake Marquardt now going to come out and have a talk with Jimenez alongside Adam Rust and the entire infield. As Jimenez nearing at 89 pitches so far, 52 strikes and 37 balls. 2 runners are on the base paths. We have Ty Hanneborg at second, then Caden Johnson on over at first, and that'll do it for today for Carlos Jimenez. As now coming out of the bullpen, Eli Schneider for Hastings as he will be taking over on the mound. Again, thank you to our sponsors here for today's game. 1, Kevin McGann and the Fortifying Group. Check out Kevin McGann and the Fortifying Group. His location, 621 South Dewey, Suite B. Alongside our other sponsors for today's game, Sand Hill State Bank. Most committed brand and banking with locations in North Platte, Ogallala, Grant, and many more. Head to sandhillstate.com for a full list of services and locations. So, Schneider will be warming up now for the side of 5 Points Bank Hastings as he looks to close this out in this inning as well as the game I'd say comfortable, a healthy 3-0 lead for Hastings as it's been a topsy-turvy game. It has sure as heck been a roller coaster. There's only been essentially a full inning of play that a run hasn't come across. The Nationals top of the second and the Nationals top of the fifth are the only innings so far that a run has not come across for either side. So, up to bat for the fourth time today, and the first time against Eli Schneider, Blaze Zeiler. He flew out in his first appearance, walked in his second, then struck out in his third. He has Caden Johnson at first, and then Ty Hanneborg at second for the Nationals. So Schneider's ready to rock and roll after his warm-up pitches. And let's get things back underway here in this top of the sixth inning. Nationals have really only 2 more offensive attempts. Four more outs on their side to get some action going. In terms of totality, we got 7 outs remaining in this ball game. But Blaze Zeiler can do some damage here if he can find a good hit. Hanneborg at second, Johnson at first, and now Adam Rutt's going to go out and have a talk with Schneider before first pitch was even made. And now he goes back, ready to rock and roll. Here we go now. Zeiler up to bat for a new pitcher, Eli Schneider on the mound. As Schneider's first pitch in. 2 tight inside for ball number 1. Want to know the count with 2 down. Schneider shakes off a couple signs from Rutt. Glances at second and fires. That's going to bounce off the back of Blaze Zeiler, and here we go, everybody. About to get back to the shenanigans, as following that hit by pitch, the bases are now loaded for Jack Polk up to bat, as going on over for courtesy running Jackson Peters. Peters at first, Johnson at second, with Ty Hanneborg at third, as Eli Schneider now has the bases loaded with 2 down. And the Nationals being gifted a potential opportunity here to drive runs across. First pitch in, down low in the turf, ball 1. Want to know the count now into Jack Polk from Eli Schneider. Bases loaded. An 8-5 lead for Hastings. The 1-0. It's a good bounce back pitch in there. Strike number 1 to Polk. Top of the 6th. Nationals trail by 3. The game leading run at the plate right now with the bases loaded. Schneider likes what he sees from Rutt. Steps and fires. Uh-oh, that curveball and off speed way outside the zone. It's 2-1 the count now. As Schneider gets ready to rock and roll yet again. Ooh, that pitch almost hitting Jack Polk. Fastball tight inside, ball 3. It's 3-1 the count now to the shortstop. The pitch, driven out to left field. It's falling down for a base hit. 1 run scores. 2 run scores. They're waving Jackson Peters home. Here he comes, and he makes a mistake. It was Coach Ricky Holm putting the brakes on, and Peters gets called out at third. 2 runs come across. But the inning will come to an end after Jackson Peters makes a mistake and blows right past the stop sign from Coach Holm. And that's how this inning comes to an end. 2 runs come across. It's an 8-7 lead when we come back here to the bottom of the 6th on FM 98.1, AM 1410, and video live streaming at NorthPlattePost.com.
With Sandhill State Bank's new upgraded cart management experience, you can now control your carts anytime, anywhere. The new features and added control allow you to prevent fraud like never before. Get increased transaction details, turn your cart on and off whenever you'd like, and report your card lost in an instant, all from our mobile app. More insights, more control, and more security for your banking experience. Bank local and go far with digital banking solutions that go wherever you go. Visit sandhillstate.com to learn more. Sandhill State Bank, member FDIC.
Are you in the market for a new or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV? Look no further than Bill Summers Ford Honda Nissan Lincoln for your next vehicle. Look online 24/7 at BillSummers.com. Bill Summers is Western Nebraska's leasing headquarters, and they have aggressive financing to get you into the vehicle you've been dreaming of. Check out all the inventory at BillSummers.com anytime. Bill Summers Ford Honda Nissan Lincoln, where families are our business. Highway 83 and Walker Road in North Platte, and online 24/7 at BillSummers.com.
Welcome back here to Duncan Field. Nationals trailing 5 points bank. Hastings now 8-7 in this bottom of the sixth inning. Our happening breaks brought to you in part by Kevin McGann and the Fortifying Group. Check out Kevin McGann and the Fortifying Group. His location, 621 South Dewey, Suite B. The Nationals had an opportunity to tie this game just an inning ago with the bases loaded. Jack Polk rips one into left field, scoring 2 runs, but young Jackson Peters makes an unfortunate error as he blows right past the stop sign at third base from Coach Ricky Holm. And unfortunately gets tagged out at third trying to wheel it back, and because of that, only 2 out of the 3 potential runs come home for the Nationals, and they now trail by 1, 8-7. Caden Johnson still on the mound here in this bottom of the sixth inning. Swung on and fouled off by Adam Rutt, who's up to bat for Hastings here in this inning. Nationals now potentially have 6 outs to play with in this game. Swing and a miss by Rutt for strike number 2. It's 0-2 the count now. The next pitch popped up, drifting towards Landon Greeno at first, and it falls right in between him and Race Morkey for a single. The luck from Adam Rutt to have it just squeak between Morkey and Greeno at first and right field, and just like that, a runner gets onto the base pads. With now checking in comes Royer DeLora, courtesy running for Hastings. As now up to bat, Parker Hodgen flew out in his last appearance, singled in his second at-bat, and then unfortunately struck out if you're a Hastings fan in his first appearance. He comes up to bat with, now over at first, Royer DeLora, who's substituting in courtesy running-wise for Adam Rutt. Nobody out here. This bottom of the sixth inning, runner at first. National again trailing 8-7. Bottom of the sixth. As Johnson ready to rock and roll. Delivers. A bunt looks to be laid down. Pulled back by Hodgen for ball number 1. It's 1-0 the count now. One and 0. Johnson now up to 60 total pitches here in today's game. Steps and fires. Another bunt potentially being laid down. It just skirts outside the zone. For ball number 2, the count now sits at 2-0 to Parker Hodgen. With the runner still at first being Royer DeLora. The pitch. Laid down that bunt. Johnson gloves it and quickly throws it to first. And there's one out here in this bottom of the sixth inning as Hodgen gets out. And with that, the runner moves up one base pad to second base. Now he's in scoring position for Hastings. As up to bat now comes Jaden Techmeyer, and now out comes Coach Ricky Holm to have a talk with Caden Johnson in the infield, but actually going to give it up now as that'll end the day for Caden Johnson. And now the pitcher for this Nationals team is going to be, I believe, Jack Polk. Gets handed the baseball. as he'll get warmed up. Coming in from the outfield and going to play shortstop now is going to be Logan Hayes. So Polk will go to the mound. And he wasn't planned to start today for the Nationals. Or he was planned early before it was moved to Easton Geisler. Now being called upon here in this bottom of the 6th inning on I would say a cold arm. He's relatively warm in terms of getting some game experience in today, but from a pitching perspective, hasn't really got any warm-up pitches till now. He's facing off against Jaden Techmeyer, Evan Rust, and then Nick Canant at the side of 5 Points Bank Hastings. So the outfield now goes like this. Caden Johnson in center field, Blaze Zeiler in left with Race Morkey in right. Logan Hayes takes over at shortstop, and of course, as I said, Jack Polk on the mound for the Nationals. One out here, bottom of the 6th inning, 8-7 lead for 5 Points Bank Hastings. Thank you to our sponsors here for today's game, Premier Toyota. Premier Toyota just south of I-80 in North Platte invites you to stop out, take a test drive here today. Premier Toyota, let's go places. So runner at second base being Royer DeLaura with one out. As now we get ready to rock and roll here from Duncan Field. And what has been a absolutely crazy game between these two teams. Scored in every single inning but the top of the 2nd and top of the 5th inning. Unbelievable stuff. These two teams just can't seem to separate from each other in a scoring situation at all. As Jack Polk on the mound for the Nationals will face Jaden Techmeyer and fire one in. Squared up into the sky, and it gets over the head of one Ty Hannibord, but gloved by Caden Johnson. A single for Techmeyer, and with that, runners now are at the corners for Hastings. That's now the 11th hit today for 5 Points Bank. As Evan Rust, who's 2 for 4, now will come up to swing, and defensive adjustments being made by Coach Ricky Holm. Runner just 90 feet away at third base for Hastings. Evan Rust up to bat. There is a force out at second for a double play. If Evan Rust grounds to the infield, Jack Polk getting ready will glance on over at first and deliver his first pitch into Rust. Looks to lay the bunt down, but fouls it back for strike number 1. It's 0-1 now. One out here, bottom of the 6th inning. Nationals trailing 8-7 as Polk steps off to refocus, and now he'll go talk with Easton Jones. As now he'll step back on to the pitching mound, ready to rock and roll. Trailing 8-7. 11 hits given up so far by the Nationals here today. As Jack Polk gets set and will now look to pick off Jaden Techmeyer. No good as he gets back in time. Still 0-1. The count to Evan Rust. As Jack Polk gets ready and a bunt looks to be laid down, but pull back the throw to third. And then the runner, Jaden Techmeyer, easily steals second off of that play. And with that, now runners at second as well as third for this Hastings squad. With one out, bottom of the 6th inning. Jack Polk gets the sign from Dean McIntyre as he gets ready and he fires. Oh gosh, it pulls McIntyre away from the bag. There's ball number 2 to Rust. Two and one. One out. The pitch. Swung on. Get a great glove by Easton Jones. The throw home not in time, and it gets away from Dean McIntyre, and they're going to call for an out-of-play ball as it bounces over the dugout. So with that, 2 runs come across for Hastings. A ground rule double for Evan Rust And because of that, 2 more runs come across. And now it's a 10-7 lead with Nick Canaan, who was up to bat, but yet again being intentionally walked. Every time Nick Canaan is coming up to bat, he's been intentionally walked just because there's a potential of a force out at any bag. Is with that walk, there's a runner at first being Canaan, and at third being Evan Rust for Nolan Hyde, who's 1 for 3 today. First pitch from Jack Polk is down in the dirt for ball number 1. 10-7 lead now in favor Jack Polk's now 1-0 delivered. Oh no, it gets away from Dean McIntyre, and that plan of getting a double play goes out the window as Rust now moves to third. And then Nick Canant now on over to second. It's 2-0 the count to Nolan Hyde. As now the pitch, once again in the dirt, sneaks away a little bit from the side of Dean McIntyre, and things getting a little out of control. 3-0 now the count to Nolan Hyde. As the next pitch, it's outside, ball 4, and Hyde will stroll the first for a walk. And now up to bat comes Jackson Shagru with still 1 out here in this bottom of the 6th inning. 2 runs have come across. As now out comes Mark Juarez having a talk, and I believe just picking up some gloves from Nolan Hyde. And now we have a courtesy runner. I believe that's what they were doing. So now Nolan Hyde will move aside, and Nick Mausel will come out. Excuse me, Musel will come out and have a courtesy run at first base. Oh and 1. Excuse me, 1 out here with the bases loaded for Shagru. That fastball is down low, ball 1. That's the next pitch from Jack Polk. In there, strike number 1. 1-1 the count now to Shagru. 1-1 with 1 out. Polk gets the sign and fires. Curveball is in there for strike 2. One and 2 with 1 out. Bases loaded. Jack Polk's pitch to Shagru. Grounded up, but foul down the third base side. 1 and 2 with 1 out. One and 2 once again to Shagru. With the bases loaded for Hastings, a 10-7 lead in this bottom of the 6th. Polk delivers. Down in the dirt, it just barely sneaks away from McIntyre, but not far enough to advance a runner. 2 and 2. Now the count with 1 out as McIntyre kind of took it off his body, and now time is going to be called as now he's going to have a talk with. Oh, he's just handing over his chain. It looks like the ball ripped his chain off, and now he'll have to play without it for a moment. 2 and 2 with 1 out to Jack Polk. Time's now going to be called for Shagru as he steps back into the batter's box. Bottom of the 6th, a 10-7 lead for Hastings. The pitch. Swung on and missed, but it gets away from Dean McIntyre. He'll be out, but another run comes across for Hastings. So there are 2 down now in this inning, but the 11th run comes across. So with that, runners are now at third and second base. Naz Robinson up to bat. 11-7 lead for 5 Points Bank Hastings. Pitch from Jack Polk in there. Strike number 1. Now he's starting to warm up after really being thrown in cold here in this relief effort for him. 11 runs on 11 hits and 1 error. 7 runs on 5 hits, 6 errors for the Nationals. Off speed just a little too high there. Ball 1. It's 1-1 the count now. With 2 down in this bottom of the 6th inning. As the 1-1 just sneaks a little bit away from Dean McIntyre. Two and 1 to Naz Robinson. Runners in scoring position. With 2 down. The pitch. That one lofted in the right field. It gets down for another base hit. 1 run scores. 2 runs are going to score. The run on over to second. Now Coach Holm not happy with Race Morkey as he throws it home and allows the runner at first, Naz Robinson, to easily advance to second. It's all falling apart for the Nationals. 12th hit, 13th run of today's game for 5 Points Bank Hastings, and now up to bat Dayton Espino. It was just a 2-run lead, or 3-run lead, correction, now has exploded 13-7. This Hastings squad as the next pitch is skied up from Espino. Running for it, landing Greeno, but gloved up. Oh, dropped by Morkey on the right field in foul territory, so there's a foul ball, but a strike being given instead of an out. This bottom of the 6th. Oh, 0-1 now to Espino. Runner at second being Naz Robinson. 13-7. That one lofted into right field again, but Morkey's there to glove it. And that's how this inning comes to an end, but not before 5 runs come across for the Nationals. We're going to the top of the 7th inning. Last chance for the FNBO Nationals to rally something together when we come back here at FM 98.1, AM 1410, and video live streaming NorthPlattePost.com.
Family first. My dad used to tell us that all the time. But family first wasn't just something he'd say to us. It was how he lived every day of his life. And it's how I try to live mine too.
At Shelter Insurance, our agents are dedicated to helping provide personalized auto, home, and life protection that puts your family first.
Find me, Brent Rogo, at 502 East Francis.
Free PC and Mac checkups at CT Computer Services in North Platte? That's right. Let CT Computer Services diagnose your systems to ensure your hardware integrity, security, and overall PC Mac health are running as they should. For a free PC Mac checkup, stop in at 905 South Willow in North Platte or call 308-534-3628. CT Computer Services, your IT guys since 2005.
Welcome back here to Duncan Field. 13-7 lead at the moment now for 5 Points Bank Hastings. 13 runs on 12 hits, 1 error. 7 runs on 5 hits, 6 errors for the Nationals. Again, before a couple of seconds ago, they had a tie ball game entering that bottom of the 6th before 5 runs come across and now trail 13-7. Our half-inning breaks are brought to you in part by Kevin McGann and the Fortify Group. Check out Kevin McGann and the Fortify Group. His location, 621 South Dewey, Suite B, as well as our other sponsors here for today's game. One, Premier Toyota. Premier Toyota, just south of I-80 North Platte, invites you to stop out, take a test drive here today. So, still on the mound now, Eli Schneider. Still on the mound again. He came in last inning for the side of Hastings, taking over for Carlos Jimenez. He'll fire a pitch down low to McIntyre for ball number 1. Next pitch. It's going to be out there once again for ball 2. Two-0. Sneaks in for strike number 1 to McIntyre. He's 0 for 3 today with 2 groundouts and a flyout. That one slowly grounded to third. Gloved up by Shagru. For the first is in time. And there's 1 out here in this top of the 7th inning. Easton Jones now up to bat for the Nationals here following that ground out from Dean McIntyre for out number 1. He's 2 for 2 with a single, a double, and a walk in this game. That first pitch in there, strike number 1 from Schneider. As the next pitch is way upstairs, ball 1 to Easton Jones. It's 1-1 the count now with 1 out in the top of the 7th. As Schneider gets the sign that he likes in from Adam Rutt and now delivers. Slowly grounded up the middle. Good glove up from Naz Robinson, but can't hold it down to throw it to first. And Easton Jones gets on with a 1-out single. And just like that, Logan Hayes now checks in to bat for the Nationals. There is 1 runner on the base pads. It's Easton Jones at first. Hayes today 1 for 3. Flew out to Carson Jimenez in his first appearance. Singled in his second, but reached on a fielder's choice in his third. Whoa, that curveball way outside from Eli Schneider in a whole new galaxy with that pitch. 1-0 with 1 out. Runner at first being Easton Jones. Schneider fires at the knees and in for strike number 1 to the left fielder Hayes. As that next pitch down low in the turf. Ball number 1. Actually, ball number 2 now to Hayes. That one lifted out to right field. It stays fair, and a good little dink hit from Logan Hayes, and 2 batters now get on. As that one just barely stayed fair along the first base side. As now 2 runners are aboard for the Nationals here in this top of the 7th inning. There is though 1 out. That's working against the Nationals, and it's Landon Greeno checking in. 3 ground outs today. 2 of them to Nick Canant, and then 1 of them back to the pitcher. It was Carson Jimenez's first pitch from Schneider's in for strike number 1 to the first baseman Greeno. Race Morkey is on deck with Ty Hanneborg in the hole for the Nationals. 0-1 the count now. As the left-handed Schneider gets set and fires. Oh, it just barely sneaks in. Strike number 2. 0-2 the count now with 1 out to Landon Greeno. Schneider looking for his first strikeout today. and get to the potential final out for Hastings. The 0-2. That one lofted into left field. It's, just pulled foul. So we'll still stay at 0-2. Runner at first being Hayes. Easton Jones at second. Greeno looking to provide a potential last inning spark for this Nationals team, as they currently are trailing 13-7. As the pitch. It bounced off the elbow of Landon Greeno, and with that, on over to first he goes, and the bases are now loaded with only one out here in this ball game, in this top of the 7th, might I add, as it's Race Morkey who's coming up to bat now for the Nationals. He's 0 for 1, walked in his first appearance, was hit by a pitch in his second, and then struck out looking in his third. One out. Greeno at first, Hayes at second, Jones at third. The bases loaded. Nationals looking for some signs of life here. That next pitch is in the dirt from Schneider. Next pitch. Check swing. It's in there. Strike number 1. Actually, it's Gabe Moreno who's in for the Nationals, not Race Morkey, as Moreno pinch hitting in this situation. As that one's going to bounce in the dirt and a little bit of ways from Rutt, but not far enough. It's 2-1 now, the count. Two and one. One out. Bases loaded. Schneider delivers. Squared up into the sky. Getting up underneath it, Nick Canant. He gets there and gloves it for out number 2. As now up comes the final out of this potential ball game for the Nationals, as Ty Hanneborg comes aboard. He's 0 for 1 today. Struck out swinging in his first appearance. Sacrifice flew out in his second, then walked in his third. Strike number 1 from Schneider as he bounces in with a fastball. Oh and 1 with 2 outs. The pitch. Grounded slowly on over to Canant. He throws to first. Hits. In, not in time. And here's a dive at home. And it's out and the game's over. Logan Hayes comes running home, potentially trying to get the last run across, but unfortunately gets tagged out, and that's how this game will come to an end. The Nationals unfortunately fall in this one 13-8. After what has been a topsy-turvy game today, ends unfortunately in the worst position for the Nationals, as they just couldn't get anything across consistently, or were unable to hold the fort down in those situations when they did have a comfortable lead. And those 6 errors that happened today, a big factor as to why the team struggled in terms of finding that momentum. And with that, they fall now to 10-7 on the season, compared to Hastings, who are now 7-5 this season. Tough way to end what was a pretty impressive 4-game winning streak. But we're going to step aside and we'll take a quick break. When we come back, quick stop post-game show right here at FM 98.1, AM 1410, and as always, video live streaming on NorthPlattePost.com.
The DNN Event Center wishes everyone a great sports season. With North Platte and Nebraska weather, things change quickly and can make our lives a little more difficult. Thank goodness for the DNN. The DNN offers hourly rentals for all types of sports practices, including turf, courts, batting cages, and equipment usage. Call the DNN Event Center to schedule your team's practice times and for more league information for all sports seasons. For over 30 years in our community, for your next event, the DNN Event Center.
Growing up, my parents always encouraged me to do what's right, even if it wasn't easy. I'd always hear my mother's voice say, "Do the right thing." That stuck with me. Every day, just do the right thing. That's it. The rest takes care of itself.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe in doing the right thing for our customers and our communities.
Find me, Brent Rogo, at 502 East Francis.
The DNN Event Center wishes everyone a great sports season. With North Platte and Nebraska weather, things change quickly and can make our lives a little more difficult. Thank goodness for the DNN. The DNN offers hourly rentals for all types of sports practices, including turf, courts, batting cages, and equipment usage. Call the DNN Event Center to
the latter years, but so far this season it's become a reoccurring theme for this Nationals team has been their errors. They've really struggled, specifically in these last about 5-6 games of toning back and toning down on the errors, and because of that, it's starting to affect them and their games, as you saw here today. A game which at multiple points throughout this game, they actually had a pretty decent and comfortable sized lead before it all just crumbled and fell apart on the literal next inning due to some pretty simple mistakes that they were making, like not being able to pick up ground balls, overthrowing the first base bag, and specifically more in the outfield, again on those misjudging the baseball. And because of that, runs would come across, and that lead that they had would suddenly disappear. And that's how we got to this point where Nationals fall 13-8. Let's jump into some game stats here for the Nationals pitching side, which was a little hit or miss today. Unfortunately, it wasn't their best performance from the starting lineup or the bullpen, as Easton Geisler went 2 1/3 innings. He, of course, had 2 earned runs, 3 strikeouts here today for Geisler. Caden Johnson came in after that, 3 2/3 innings. He himself gave up 5 runs, one of those being earned with 4 strikeouts, and Jack Polk, who came in for that last 2/3 of an inning, came up, of course, with giving up 3 total hits. And I don't believe, and 4 of those runs being earned on his side. So, Nationals unfortunately fall 13-8 as there goes Coach Ricky Holmes. He's done with team meeting at a very elongated team meeting today, which I don't blame him after how unfortunate that game came across and how everything kind of fell apart for this Nationals team defensively and offensively. Well, we're going to step aside for one final time. We come back here in the Quick Stop postgame show. 27 locations open 24 hours a day. Quick Stop always open right around the corner. We're going to have Coach Ricky Holm join us alongside, I believe, Assistant Coach Andrew Broach. It looks like just Coach Holm will be appearing here today, and we'll talk to him about this game. When we come back here, FM 98.1, AM 1410, and video live stream at NorthPlattePost.com.
You get a jump start on your college degree. Our summer courses may allow you an opportunity to transfer credits back to your institution, saving you money while helping you earn your degree faster. Visit our website at mpcc.edu to learn more about our summer offerings and begin transforming your future today. That's mpcc.edu.
Buying a car? It's not always the most pleasant experience, but it doesn't have to be that way. 23 years. That's how long Premier Toyota has been in North Platte community, delivering a car buying experience that's friendly, easy, and fun. Check PremierAutoplex.com first, then stop by your lot at 2600 South Willow Street in North Platte. Come see us. Premier Toyota for your next new Toyota or pre-owned vehicle. Premier Toyota at PremierAutoplex.com.
Nicole is having her favorite Runza salad.
The something something ranch salad.
It's the chicken bacon ranch salad.
But you can put whatever else you want around it. I'm here for the ranch.
I'm with you. Runza's homemade ranch is perfect. It's so good. A classic.
It's literally the only reason I like salad.
Great point. Come get a salad with your ranch. Try Runza's chicken bacon ranch salad today. Because from the way we make it to the way it makes you feel, Runza makes it all better.
Welcome back here to Duncan Field. Nationals fall 13-8. I'm joined here by head coach Ricky Holm, who unfortunately has to go through that pain as we all had as well. Wasn't the cleanest performance, and it's felt like recently that these last about 5-6 games have been some of the uncleanest, not just in the team this season, but really in quite a long time. And it's not that these are mistakes that are, difficult plays that they can't make. They're pretty easy self-wounding type mistakes, and that unfortunately came up here today, which resulted in some of those runs coming across for Hastings that kept them in it.
Yeah, I mean, 6 errors against any team, let alone Hastings, you're not going to win too many games playing and fielding it like that. I'm going to have to go back and look at it, too, because I think 6 errors is being a little generous. I think we probably had a couple more than that. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're playing my wife's 14U softball team. If you're making that many errors, you're not going to give yourself a good chance to win. Thought Easton Geisler settled down after the first inning. First start for him under the lights for seniors, so big opportunity for him. I thought he did well once he kind of settled down in the first inning, but just kind of the combination of, I think they hit 2 balls on the line, couple walks, couple errors, and just kind of snowballed there in the last couple innings for us.
And it did, of course, 5 runs coming across in that last inning. And there were moments where you can sit there and be like, okay, now we can start to settle. You got a nice, comfortable margin. You felt like that pressure was starting to alleviate from your team. And then, as you said, these little small things that normally wouldn't shake up this team started to really put them out of their comfort zone for some reason, and maybe, I don't know if it's just the combination of this intense part of the schedule where there's been a lot of games being played with a little bit times of minimal rest, so they haven't really got time to fully mentally reset in some areas, or really maybe just that part of the season where that wear and tear is starting to affect them.
Yeah, we definitely are a little bit more banged up and bruised up than we usually are this early in the season, but it's playing catch. Everybody's going to be hurt and everybody's going to have bruises. That's why I talked with Jack and Easton Jones there. It's like, them two and Joni, those are kind of our, defensive stalwarts that we lean on and bank on them making, 90-95% of the plays. And both of those plays, Jack and Jones' throwing errors were in big situations. It cost us a couple runs extra each. And they understand that. They're the type of guys that, I don't need to get on them. They're going to get on themselves just as hard, if not harder, than I would. So just going to have to come back tomorrow. We're hoping to kind of have a relaxing practice tomorrow, but definitely got a lot of stuff to work on. So it's going to be part track practice and part defensive practice, and trying to see if we can take care of the baseball while we're tired and kind of go from there. And really all we can do is just get back to work, and hopefully we can correct these mistakes.
Yeah, and the good thing is, even though these mistakes have been popping up more frequently, again, these are pretty reasonable, easy mistakes that you guys can clean up with a good practice, or really maybe just some more focus, which is, tough to say when you're out there really focusing at your all might. So that's a kind of a little bit of an alleviating side. And, of course, you have your first tournament here this season for the seniors team coming up with the Elkhorn tournament. And as you said, you get tomorrow off to kind of rest and relax before you head up there. So, you already talked about a little bit, what's your expectations now that 4-game winning streak came to an end and you essentially got a clean wipe slate here with this big loss against Hastings? What are some of your expectations you're going to be taking in to that Elkhorn tournament?
Yeah, we're going to be facing quality opponents every day there. Friday night we're going to be playing Gretna, and then on Saturday we got Elkhorn North and North Star, and they're all 3 quality opponents. I feel comfortable and confident that if we come in and play our game, that we can compete and win all of those games. But I feel equally as confident that if we don't show up and don't take care of the baseball, it's going to be a long weekend for us. So just really understanding that nobody's going to feel sorry for us, and we're kind of like at that tipping point, because it's like, these are simple mistakes to correct, but good teams don't make simple mistakes, or they minimize them. So we're kind of on that fine line where, this is my 4th year here, and I feel like I have a pretty good judge of the talent that we have, and I think that we have the talent to go and make some damage here in districts. But it's going to take each individual kind of looking themselves in the mirror and figuring out how they can themselves help our team win and help themselves do better. So, it's going to be a tough weekend. Definitely, between the 3-4 games, I think you can play 5 if you win it, or go to the championship. And then we got 2 versus Scotts Bluff on Tuesday, 2 versus GI on Wednesday, and then a 9-inning game versus Shattern on Friday. So we don't really have time to feel sorry for ourselves. It's just going to be, maximizing our effort and telling the guys, if we're going to have an hour and a half practice, it's like, guys, you got 22 and a half hours that I don't care what you're doing, hanging out, playing video games, going to the park, whatever, but when we're here for that hour and a half, I need an hour and a half of focus, okay? Because we're good, but we're not good enough to go through the motions. So I think it's just more so just realizing that even though we think we're good and even though we think we have the talent, we haven't accomplished anything as a group yet.
You got to draw that potential out.
So it's tough, because it's like, I would rather guys be overconfident than underconfident, but I think we're getting to a point here where we are, metaphorically reading the newspaper clippings, and we haven't done anything as a group, so as good as we think we can be, or as good as we think we're going to be, it doesn't really do anything, or doesn't really show it until we go out there and actually get the result that we want.
Yep. So, of course, got these games coming up, and then getting just one step closer to district time. Coach Ken, thank you so much stopping on by. Have fun up in Elkhorn. I'll see you when you all come back here. Of course, Coach will strangle me in the back alley when he comes back. But we will, of course, be coming back after Nebraska Land Days, as this is our last game here for the start of the hectic Nebraska Land Days season. We'll be coming in week number 2 of that. But the Nationals unfortunately fall here 13-8. Our Ameriprise Financial Money Player of the game going to Easton Jones. He had 3 big hits today for the Nationals that really kept them alive and kept them going in today's game, and really was almost that tipping point to help push this team over the top before, of course, those errors we talked about earlier came into effect. We'll see you all here after the Nebraska Land Days break. We're on 1 FM 98.1, AM 1410, and video live stream at NorthPlattePost.com.
We're always open right around the corner. Quick stop. With your 24-hour convenience store. Fast, friendly, no one gives you more. Gas, food, your favorite drink. Get everything you need in a blink. That's why everybody stops at Quick Stop. We're always open right around the corner. Quick Stop.
The North Platte Public Schools prepares all students to be productive, responsible citizens in a safe, caring, supporting learning environment with caring staff, engaging curriculum, clean facilities, and updated technology. You can rely on our schools giving your child the tools they need for a successful future. For more information, including enrollment and career opportunities, visit nppsd.org. North Platte Public Schools. Communicate, connect, commit.
With Sandhill State Bank's new upgraded cart management experience, you can now control your carts anytime, anywhere. The new features and added control allow you to prevent fraud like never before. Get increased transaction details, turn your card on and off whenever you'd like, and report your card lost in an instant, all from our mobile app. More insights, more control, and more security for your banking experience. Bank local and go far with digital banking solutions that go wherever you go. Visit sandhillstate.com to learn more. Sandhill State Bank, member FDIC.
Whether you're a weekend warrior, youth,